As of right now, the presence of a mysterious green glowing object has captivated the attention of viewers around the world. Caught by the cameras aboard the International Space Station, this mysterious anomaly has sparked intrigue and speculation, fueling imaginations with tales of cosmic mysteries and extraterrestrial encounters. The first reports of the mysterious green glowing object surfaced several weeks ago, when vigilant observers noticed peculiar flashes of light in the background of the International Space Station's live streams. Initially dismissed as camera artifacts or atmospheric phenomena, these sightings soon became too frequent and too distinct to ignore. Described as a vivid green orb or pulsating glow, the object appeared to move with purpose, defying conventional explanations and prompting further investigation. As word of the sighting spread across social media and online forums, amateur astronomers and UFO enthusiasts alike turned their attention to the live feed, hoping to catch a glimpse of the elusive phenomenon. And as of right now, clear video footage of the strange object has been captured. Speculation ran rampant as to the origin and nature of the anomaly. Some proposed natural explanations, citing the possibility of auroras or ionospheric disturbances causing the green glow. Others leaned towards extraterrestrial hypotheses, suggesting that the object could be a spacecraft of unknown origin conducting clandestine operations in Earth's orbit. There has been skepticism among individuals regarding the nature of the object in question, with debates arising as to whether it has a biological origin or if it could be associated with other peculiar occurrences observed in proximity to the International Space Station. As the mystery deepened, new sightings of the green, glowing object continued to emerge, further fueling speculation and intrigue. Witnessed against the backdrop of Earth's curvature or framed against the backdrop of distant stars, the anomaly appeared to defy conventional laws of physics, evoking a sense of wonder and uncertainty. Despite efforts to explain it, the true nature of the green glowing object remained elusive, shrouded in mystery and speculation. As the sightings persisted, various theories have been put forward, each offering its own interpretation of the green glowing object's significance. The mystery of the green glowing object serves as a poignant reminder of the vastness and complexity of the universe we inhabit. In a realm where the boundaries between reality and imagination blur, where the unknown beckons with tantalizing allure, it is perhaps fitting that some mysteries remain unsolved, waiting to be revealed by the intrepid explorers of tomorrow. Mysterious waves discovered at the edge of the solar system. In a recent discovery, data was obtained from an interstellar boundary explorer that had been orbiting and collecting data in space over the last while. An explorer is a type of satellite capable of transgressing the boundaries of space and collecting data for scientists on Earth. That being said, this particular spacecraft was able to learn some interesting information as it discovered a pulsating structure in the heliopause. The heliopause is the region between the solar system and interstellar space. In the past, scientists had yet been able to collect much information on this region of space, but that has begun to change. The finding from this explorer brought scientists insight into how the boundary appears to be constantly changing over time. As of now, there have been 2 different Voyager explorers that could cross the heliopause and venture into interstellar space. These Voyagers have enabled scientists to obtain a better understanding of interstellar space and start to map the heliopause. However, they haven't been without issue, and further tools were needed to research the area. This led to the creation of NASA's Interstellar Boundary Explorer, the IBEX. This tool is used to measure the neutral atoms that are created by the sun's solar wind colliding with the interstellar wind. Some of the atoms during this collision are shot toward the Earth and can be measured by the IBEX. The collected data has made it easier for scientists to map the heliopause region. As a result, a team of scientists discovered that huge ripples or waves were happening within the heliopause. These waves were on the scale of tens of astronomical units. 1 astronomical unit is roughly the distance between the Earth and the Sun. These findings suggest that the heliopause is constantly changing, but they are not sure why. Nonetheless, this discovery is huge for the study of space and will hopefully lead to more answers in the near future. Scientists discovered 2 dusty galaxies at the edge of the universe. 2 galaxies were discovered just beyond the edge of the universe. They formed over 13 billion years ago, which is just 8 million years after the Big Bang birthed the universe itself. The astonishing part is that they have been hidden all this time behind a thick cloud of dust. At the Research Institute of Science and Engineering at Waseda University and the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan, Emitaka, Tokyo, astronomer Yoshinobu Fujimoto led a team of scientists in discovering these galaxies. It was by sheer luck that some out-of-focus patterns of extra light emissions were spotted, while Fujimoto and his team, who have studied 40 other galaxies, were focused on 2 galaxies, Rebels 12 and Rebels 29. The extra light was coming from a location several thousand light-years further than the brighter galaxies the team had their attention on. The main tool used by Fujimoto's team, who are part of a program called Reionization Arrowbright Emission Line Survey, was the Atacama Large Millimeter-Submillimeter Array. ALMA is an extra-sensitive interferometer that is capable of seeing across incredible distances and through dusty environments. One astonishing feature of ALMA is it has the ability to see objects in the cosmic dawn era when stars and galaxies first formed. The newly discovered galaxies have been named Rebels 12-2 and Rebels 29-2. They are invisible in UV and optical light. ALMA was able to pick them up because of its sensitivity to faraway infrared wavelengths. The discovery of these 2 galaxies points to the possibility that 1 in 5 galaxies at cosmic dawn are hidden by thick clouds of dust. It is suggested by Fujimoto and those working with him that a blind wide-area survey to find more galaxies hidden in this way should happen in the future. This will possibly add to or change the knowledge we have for models of star and galaxy formation during this notable time. It's a richly satisfying feeling to know that entire galaxies teeming with stars were already thriving 800 million ago at the very dawn of the universe. Powerful cosmic flash is likely neutron-star merger. Neutron stars have remained one of the more mysterious aspects of astronomy, but a recent discovery has led researchers to speculate that they might not be as rare as first believed. These celestial bodies known as neutron stars are interesting because of their incredibly high density compared to their very small radius. A typical neutron star measures only about 30 kilometers across, making them veritable specks in the wide expanse of space. Likely formed by the remnants of massive supernova explosions, they are composed of densely packed neutrons containing the mass of the entire Sun in such a small space. Occasionally, these neutron stars will combust in cataclysmic mergers that can be captured and studied via imaging technology, although it can be hard for researchers to determine whether an explosion was caused as a result of a neutron star collision or something else, such as a gamma-ray burst. However, new ways of capturing these explosions have shown researchers that perhaps neutron star mergers are much more common throughout the universe. After discovery of a neutron star collision that generated both light and gravitational waves, named GW170817, was made in 2017, astronomers began to consider that there might be a new way of searching for these occurrences. Expanding upon Albert Einstein's theories regarding using ripples in spacetime to probe objects within the cosmos, an expansive multi-messenger astronomy project began which allowed researchers to combine gravitational wave technology and electromagnetic radiation to probe space in ways that had never been attempted before. Although GW170817 was the first recorded neutron star merger, once these principles were employed in the study of other instances, they discovered that we had likely observed such mergers many times before without realizing exactly what they were. For example, a gamma-ray burst named GRB 150101b was recorded by NASA's Fermi Gamma-Ray Space Telescope and confirmed by multiple other recordings, including the Hubble Space Telescope, the Chunder X-ray Observatory, and Neil Gehrels Swift Observatory. But now researchers looking at it with this new scientific lens believe that this explosion may have been the result of a collision between 2 neutron stars. Jeffrey Ryan with the University of Maryland at College Park and co-author of the study released a statement explaining the instance of mistaken identities, saying, "We may have a case of cosmic lookalikes. They look the same, act the same, and come from similar neighborhoods, so the simplest explanation is that they are from the same family of objects." If this is the case and explosions that were previously categorized as gamma-ray bursts may have been misidentified neutron star explosions, then the incidences of neutron stars are likely much less rare than researchers first believed. As Ryan said, this could hint at an entire category of objects that exist within the cosmos that have not yet been identified. Elena Trozier, lead author of the study, said, "Our discovery tells us that events like GW170817 and GRB 150101b could represent a whole new class of erupting objects that turn on and off in X-rays and might actually be relatively common." Fellow co-author Henrik van Orten continued, We need more cases like GW170817 that combine gravitational wave and electromagnetic data to find an example between a neutron star and black hole. Such a detection would be the first of its kind. Our results are encouraging for finding more mergers and making such a detection. Multi-messenger astronomy has allowed scientists to view space in an entirely new light, which will hopefully usher in a new era of new discoveries. Astronomers show what shock waves 60 times larger than the Milky Way look like. Cosmic collisions and grand, colorful explosions are a staple in space. Despite being a vacuum, space can be as colorful and bright as it is unknown and elusive. The larger and more spectacular the explosion or supernova, the more excited researchers become upon its discovery. Recently, a brand new burst of color and a spectacle transpired, an occurrence dating back to 1 billion years ago, still showcasing itself in the night skies. Despite the tremendous amount of time that has passed since its dawn, the spectacle is not only still very much visible, but it has been measured to be 60 times the size of our entire galaxy. This splendid shock wave occurred when two clusters of galaxies collided into what is known as a supercluster. Abell 3667, the name dubbed to the supercluster, is one of the most extraordinary events which we know of to have happened in the universe since the Big Bang. Professor Francesco de Gasperin of the University of Hamburg conducted various calculations, which proved Abell 3667 to have been insanely powerful. It is believed that Abell 3667 happened anywhere from 1 billion to 200 million ago. Regardless, the supercluster formed a shock wave of electrons which are still traveling at speeds of 1,500 kilometers a second, otherwise known as Mach 2.5. These particles, as they traverse the cosmos, pass the magnetic fields in space, which then are reflected back in radio waves. De Gasperin used these radio waves in his calculations alongside his colleagues. The research group used the up-and-coming Meerkat telescope that is building steady popularity within astronomical circles. However, radio waves could not provide them with enough information by themselves about the extent of the shock wave, as research was additionally conducted at the XXM Neutron X-ray Observatory to focus further on Abell 3667. The combined results from the various observatories helped scientists understand the situation and shock wave in a far better light than any prior speculation could have. According to de Gasperin, the galaxy clusters were much more complex than we initially thought. The shock waves themselves looked like filaments that traced the location of giant magnetic field lines. The full extent of their research is not yet known. Astronomers find mysterious cavity in space 500 light-years away. Astronomers have recently discovered an enormous cavity which they believe was the result of a stellar explosion millions of years ago. Described as a bubble-shaped void, they discovered the cavity between the Perseus and Taurus constellations. More precisely, it was found in a star-forming region which is a cluster of gas and dust which to date scientists believe form from supernovas. Having mapped the Perseus-Taurus constellation star-forming region, data collected by the Gaia spacecraft revealed the huge cavity which previously went unnoticed by 2D mapping systems. Scientists had long been aware of this star region. The depth and thickness of the molecular clouds associated with the region had been a mystery for some time. There are a couple of current theories as to the presence of the void within the star-forming region. Either it is possible that a supernova exploded at the core of the bubble, pushing gas outwards and expanding the cavity, or a series of supernovae over the period of millions of years created and added to it over time. Although they may not know for sure what caused this phenomenon, scientists are well aware of how much more there is to learn about the region and supernova-related events in general. Discovering this void while trying to understand how gas and dust are released and rearranged during stellar explosions, they now want to turn their focus to the chain of events triggered by the ending of a star and the resulting supernova explosion. Hunga released the highest volcanic plume ever recorded. In January 2022, an enormous volcanic eruption took place from Hunga up high. The columns this volcano created were 57 kilometers above sea level. This is the first volcanic eruption ever to breach the mesosphere, and it's one of the most extraordinary events ever recorded. The height was recorded by measuring the temperature at the top of the plume. Satellites are able to take infrared observations and measure temperature. In this case, the plumes from the eruptions went too high, and researchers could not rely on the temperature given by a satellite. Fortunately, they had a better idea and made the measurement based on parallax. They used the data from 3 geostationary weather satellites to observe the eruptions from different positions. This entailed taking images every 10 minutes to accurately record the event and get a correct reading of the height. This ingenious method for measuring the eruptions has rippled through the science community, and many others are excited to put it to use when analyzing future eruptions. Nonetheless, for the moment, this is the largest eruption that has ever been witnessed in recent human history. Second place goes to Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. With this new knowledge, scientists are excited to find out more about this eruption and what may have caused it. Recent theories make the claim that it could be caused due to climate change and the impact humans are having on the environment. Meanwhile, others believe it's just a normal act of nature. Is renowned for its rugged landscapes, rich biodiversity, and fascinating history. Yet, amid its natural wonders and cultural heritage, one strange legend stands out: the tale of the Sakhalin Island sea wolf. The story of the Sakhalin Island sea wolf dates back to February 2006, when Russian soldiers stationed on the island stumbled upon a bizarre and otherworldly creature washed ashore on its remote coastline. According to accounts from the time, the creature was unlike anything the soldiers had ever seen before, possessing a strange and unsettling appearance that defied explanation. Based on a scientific study, the skeletal analysis has revealed that the bones and teeth under scrutiny do not belong to a fish species. Contrary to initial assumptions, the remains do not align with those of a crocodile or alligator. Surprisingly, the skull structure bears resemblance to that of a canine, a stark deviation from the expected reptilian features. Moreover, the hind part of the creature corresponds to that of a fish, raising intriguing questions about its evolutionary lineage and anatomical peculiarities. Described as a massive creature with a sleek tail and possessing silver fur, the sea wolf struck an imposing figure as it lay sprawled on the sandy beach. Its long, sinewy limbs splayed out around it. Its presence elicited a mixture of awe and fear among the soldiers, who approached cautiously, unsure of what they had discovered. As word of the creature's discovery spread, rumors and speculation ran rampant among the island's inhabitants. Some believed it to be a mythical sea monster, while others speculated that it was a genetic mutation or an extraterrestrial being from another world. Yet, despite the myriad theories and conjectures, the true nature of the Sakhalin Island sea wolf remained shrouded in mystery. Oddly enough, in the days that followed, it was reported that military helicopters took the specimen away in hopes of studying the mysterious creature and unlocking the secrets of its origin. However, no further update was given in regard to what the creature was and where it came from. As the scientific community debated the origins of the Sakhalin Island sea wolf, local legends and folklore began to emerge, weaving tales of mysterious creatures said to inhabit off the coast of the island. Yet, despite skeptics saying that the creature is a whale, the true nature of the Sakhalin Island sea wolf remained elusive. As quickly as it had appeared, the creature vanished from the public eye, leaving behind only whispers and speculation in its wake. In the years that followed, many suggested that the mysterious creature could have been a globster. Globsters, mysterious and perplexing entities that wash ashore on beaches around the world, have long captured the imagination of scientists, researchers, and curious onlookers alike. These mysterious masses of organic matter, often described as amorphous, gelatinous blobs, defy easy classification and have given rise to a plethora of theories and conjectures regarding their origins and nature. The term globster was coined in the late 1960s by Ivan T. Sanderson, a noted zoologist and cryptozoologist, to describe anomalous marine carcasses that defied conventional identification. These peculiar entities, often characterized by their massive size, unusual appearance, and lack of recognizable features, have since become the subject of intense scrutiny and speculation within the scientific community. One of the most famous globsters in history washed ashore on a beach in Tasmania in 1960. Dubbed the Tasmanian globster, this massive, gelatinous mass captivated onlookers and confounded experts with its bizarre appearance and unknown origin. Initial assessments suggested that it may have been a decomposing whale carcass, but further analysis revealed discrepancies that cast doubt on this explanation. Subsequent globster sightings have only added to the mystery surrounding these mysterious entities. From the St. Augustine monster discovered in Florida in 1896 to the Chilean blob found in Punta Arenas in 2003, globsters have continued to baffle and intrigue scientists and laypeople alike with their inexplicable presence and perplexing characteristics. One of the most perplexing aspects of globsters is their apparent lack of identifiable features. Unlike typical marine carcasses, which often retain recognizable anatomical structures such as bones, fins, and scales, globsters are typically devoid of such characteristics, presenting instead as amorphous, shapeless masses of organic material. This lack of distinct features has led to a wide range of hypotheses regarding the true nature of globsters. Some researchers have proposed that they may be the remains of unknown or undiscovered species of marine animals, while others have suggested that they may be the result of natural processes such as decomposition or taphonomy. Another theory posits that globsters may be the result of human activities, such as pollution or military experiments that have altered the natural environment and led to the creation of these mysterious entities. While there is little concrete evidence to support this hypothesis, it remains a subject of speculation and debate among scientists and researchers. In recent years, advances in technology and analytical techniques have allowed scientists to gain new insights into the nature of globsters. DNA analysis, isotopic analysis, and other cutting-edge methods have provided valuable information about the composition and origin of these mysterious entities, shedding new light on their strange nature. Yet, despite these advancements, many questions remain unanswered. The true origin and nature of globsters continue to elude scientists, leaving them to ponder the mysteries of these perplexing entities and the secrets they may hold about the hidden depths of the ocean and the vast unknowns that lie beyond. The mysterious Trunco. Trunco, the cryptid sea creature that has captivated the imagination of cryptozoologists and enthusiasts alike, remains one of the most mysterious and elusive entities in the realm of unexplained phenomena. Described as a massive, furry, and trunked sea creature resembling a hybrid between a polar bear and an elephant, Trunco has been the subject of numerous sightings and reports, yet its existence continues to elude scientific validation. In the coastal town of Margate, South Africa, on October 25, 1924, a strange creature, affectionately dubbed as Trunco, made its mysterious appearance, triggering a wave of fascination and speculation among locals and beyond. The fascinating account of this event was chronicled in an article titled "Fish Like a Polar Bear" that graced the pages of London's esteemed Daily Mail on December 27, 1924. According to reports, Trunco was first sighted engaged in a dramatic confrontation with two formidable killer whales in the turbulent waters. The intense battle unfolded over a span of 3 gripping hours, during which the unusual creature astounded onlookers by skillfully deploying its powerful tail to fend off the relentless attacks of its adversaries. A remarkable feat attributed to Trunco was its ability to propel itself out of the water to an impressive height of approximately 20 feet. During its 10-day stay on Margate Beach, a mysterious creature emerged. Yet despite its presence, no scientific investigation was conducted on the carcass while it remained stranded. Consequently, a detailed and reliable description of the creature was never documented. And up until September 2010, it was widely believed that no photographs of the creature had ever been made public. There were unverified accounts from unidentified individuals who allegedly described the creature as having lustrous snowy white fur, an enormous elephant-like trunk, a tail reminiscent of a lobster, and a bloodless carcass. Beachgoers who encountered the creature attempted to measure it, revealing that it spanned a massive 47 feet or 14 meters in length, stood 10 feet or 3 meters wide, and towered 5 feet or 1.5 meters in height. Additional measurements included a trunk length of 5 feet with a diameter of 14 inches at 10-foot tail and fur length of 8 inches. The lack of scientific inquiry, combined with the descriptions provided, shrouded the creature in mystery, leaving many perplexed by its peculiar characteristics and unexplained features. In the years that followed, additional sightings of Trunco were reported, further fueling the mystery surrounding this cryptid sea creature. Witnesses described encountering a similar creature in various locations around the world, including Australia and Antarctica, leading some researchers to speculate that trunco may be a migratory species with a wide-ranging habitat. One of the most intriguing aspects of trunco is its purported ability to withstand extreme conditions and exhibit remarkable physical prowess. Witnesses have reported observing trunco engaging in acrobatic feats, such as somersaults and backflips, as well as demonstrating incredible strength and agility in its interactions with other marine creatures. Despite the abundance of eyewitness accounts and anecdotal evidence, skeptics remain unconvinced of trunco's existence. Citing the lack of concrete scientific evidence and the possibility of misidentification or hoaxes, critics argue that many purported sightings of trunco can be attributed to known marine animals, such as whales, seals, or large fish, whose unusual behavior or appearance may have led to misinterpretation. However, proponents of trunco argue that the sheer volume and consistency of eyewitness reports lend credibility to the existence of this mysterious creature. They point to the similarities between various accounts and the absence of a known species that matches trunco's unique characteristics, suggesting that it may represent a previously undiscovered species or an evolutionary offshoot of a known marine animal. In recent years, advances in technology and research techniques have provided new opportunities for investigating the mystery of trunco. DNA analysis, satellite tracking, and underwater exploration have all been proposed as potential avenues for uncovering evidence of trunco's existence and shedding light on its biology and behavior. Despite these efforts, trunco remains a mystery, its existence shrouded in mystery and speculation. Whether trunco represents a real undiscovered species or merely a figment of the imagination, its legend continues to captivate the minds of cryptozoologists and enthusiasts around the world, inspiring curiosity and wonder about the hidden mysteries of the ocean depths. Until conclusive evidence is obtained, the true nature of trunco will remain a subject of debate and fascination, adding another layer of intrigue to the rich tapestry of cryptozoological lore. The mysteries surrounding unidentified flying objects have long captivated the human imagination and fueled speculation about the existence of extraterrestrial life. From alleged sightings by military personnel to unexplained aerial phenomena captured on camera, the mystery of UFOs has sparked debate and curiosity across the globe. Tucker Carlson has raised questions regarding the military's fascination with UFOs, expressing curiosity about the high speeds at which these unidentified objects are reportedly moving. He highlighted his astonishment at the lack of understanding regarding the mechanisms enabling these UFOs to travel at speeds reaching thousands of miles per hour. This inquiry into the military's interest in UFOs not only delves into the perceived mystery surrounding these phenomena, but also underscores the perplexity surrounding their otherworldly abilities. UFOs and their occupants may not necessarily originate from faraway planets as commonly believed, but intriguingly, they could be considered as ethereal beings intertwined with the very fabric of Earth since the dawn of human existence. In a recent episode of comedian Joe Rogan's podcast, the theory posited by Tucker Carlson, a seasoned news analyst, delves into the realm of the supernatural. Carlson's discourse on the show touched upon the unconventional, suggesting a narrative beyond traditional explanations. During the extensive and detailed conversation on Rogan's show, Carlson shared a wealth of evidence suggesting that unidentified objects are not only present underwater, but also beneath the Earth's surface. He emphasized the long-standing presence of these objects, indicating a historical timeline that extends backward in time. Through his engaging discussion, Carlson underscored the notion that these mysterious phenomena have persisted for an extended duration. Carlson's recent remarks mirror a growing sentiment expressed by legislators with an interest in UFOs, such as Missouri's Congressman Eric Burlison and his Republican colleague Tim Burchett. Over the last year, both Burlison and Burchett have drawn parallels between UFOs and entities described in the Bible. In the opening chapter of the Book of Ezekiel, there appears to be a distinct account resembling a UFO sighting as highlighted by Representative Burchett during a press briefing in January 2023. He emphasized this observation in preparation for his efforts to convene UFO whistleblowers to present their testimonies before the Congress last summer. In discussions regarding extraterrestrial encounters, Representative Burlison, who possesses first-hand knowledge from classified briefings about UFO phenomena, expressed that when he mentions angels, he is referring to entities existing beyond our conventional dimensions. Tucker Carlson seemed to genuinely support these ideas during his appearance on his podcast on April 19th, while also expressing a lack of knowledge about numerous unanswered questions related to the subject, now often referred to as unidentified anomalous phenomena or UAP. Carlson's remarks indicated a level of agreement with these concepts, while also showcasing his uncertainty about various aspects of the topic. Carlson mentioned that the individuals in question have roots in this place, having resided here for millennia, though their precise identity remains uncertain. He further elaborated by expressing his firm belief that they can be defined as spiritual entities, although the precise interpretation of this concept remains somewhat ambiguous. The experienced broadcaster clarified his perspective on the term supernatural, elucidating that it refers to entities existing beyond the realms of observable nature and operating outside the boundaries dictated by scientific laws. These beings are characterized by their deviation from conventional scientific principles and are perceived to transcend the constraints of the physical world. In the early months of 2024, Joe Rogan made noteworthy remarks regarding Tucker Carlson's increasing engagement with the topic of UFOs, expressing curiosity about Carlson's level of insight as he anticipated Carlson's upcoming appearance on his show. Throughout the early 20th century and continuing to the present day, the discussion surrounding unidentified flying objects has often intertwined with speculations associating them with religious visitations or the existence of interdimensional beings. This intriguing connection has persisted as a prominent element in the ongoing conversations about this subject. The notion achieved its peak prominence and arguably reached its most esteemed status when the astronomer and internet trailblazer Jacques Vallée published the book Passport to From Folklore to Flying Saucers in the year 1969. Vallée, the individual who would go on to inspire François Truffaut's portrayal in Steven Spielberg's renowned science fiction film Close Encounters of the Third Kind, dedicated extensive years to meticulously researching an array of ancient manuscripts and documents in preparation for the revolutionary publication. In his analysis, the researcher juxtaposed over 1,100 documented sightings of luminous airborne clay vessels in Japan, ancient Roman records describing hovering shields, and folklore from Native American cultures referring to baskets from heaven. Another biblical account that raises questions about the nature of celestial phenomena is the story of the Star of Bethlehem found in the Gospel of Matthew. According to the Bible, a bright star appeared in the sky to guide the three wise men to the birthplace of Jesus Christ. While traditional interpretations view the Star of Bethlehem as a miraculous celestial event or divine sign, some UFO researchers speculate that it may have been a UFO or other unexplained aerial phenomenon. The exact nature of the Star of Bethlehem remains a subject of debate among scholars and theologians. Some proponents of the extraterrestrial hypothesis argue that ancient civilizations encountered advanced beings from other planets who influenced human culture and religion. According to this theory, UFO sightings and encounters with extraterrestrial beings were recorded in religious texts as divine or supernatural events due to the limited understanding of ancient peoples regarding advanced technology and space travel. Others speculate that UFO sightings in the Bible may be symbolic or metaphorical representations of spiritual or mystical experiences rather than literal encounters with extraterrestrial beings. In this view, biblical accounts of celestial phenomena serve as allegories or parables that convey deeper truths about the human condition and the nature of the divine. In a recent interview with news outlets, the renowned researcher Jacques Vallée expressed his aspiration for research efforts in the realm of UFO studies to serve as a model for future investigations if conducted with adherence to established protocols and principles. While scholarly discussions have connected UFO phenomena to demonic beings or divine miracles, less academic interpretations can also be found in popular media outlets. These alternative narratives often explore the intersection of UFO encounters with supernatural or religious beliefs, showcasing varying perspectives on the mysterious and unexplained encounters. In a comprehensive conversation with Brian Allen, the editor of Phenomena magazine, Anglican pastor Ray Bocci shared a striking account revealing a purported belief held by a specific group within the Pentagon. According to Pastor Bocci, there exists a strong conviction among some Pentagon factions that UFOs are not of extraterrestrial origin, but rather manifestations of demonic influences. The Defense Intelligence Agency conducted a thorough investigation into the phenomenon involving what was described as a demonic presence, categorizing these particular extraterrestrial beings as non-human entities as per Allen's statement. In their belief system, individuals held the conviction that the UFO phenomenon encompassed a demonic essence rather than hostile intentions towards humanity, viewing it through a biblical lens. Governments worldwide have maintained a veil of secrecy surrounding UFOs, often citing national security concerns as the primary reason for withholding information. While skeptics may dismiss UFO sightings as mere misidentifications or hoaxes, there is growing evidence to suggest that these unidentified aerial phenomena possess capabilities far beyond those of conventional aircraft. One of the key factors driving government secrecy regarding UFOs is the potential technological superiority demonstrated by these unidentified craft. Numerous reports from military personnel and trained observers describe UFOs executing maneuvers that defy the laws of physics as we understand them. These craft have been observed accelerating at incredible speeds, making sudden stops and sharp turns without any visible means of propulsion, and exhibiting other behaviors that far exceed the capabilities of known aircraft. If these reports are accurate, it raises serious questions about the origin and nature of these objects, as well as the possibility of advanced technology beyond our current understanding. Furthermore, the prospect of UFOs outperforming our jets poses significant implications for national security. If these unidentified craft possess capabilities that surpass our most advanced military aircraft, it could potentially undermine our ability to defend airspace and protect against potential threats. Governments may fear that acknowledging the existence of such superior technology could erode public confidence in their ability to maintain national security and deter potential adversaries. Another concern is the potential impact on public perception and societal stability. The disclosure of UFO encounters that involve superior technology could lead to widespread panic and confusion among the populace. People may question the government's ability to protect them from unknown threats, leading to social unrest and destabilization. Governments may therefore opt to withhold information in order to prevent mass hysteria and maintain control over the narrative surrounding UFO phenomena. Additionally, the revelation of UFO encounters could have profound implications for international relations. If certain governments possess knowledge of advanced extraterrestrial technology, they may be reluctant to share this information with other nations for fear of upsetting the balance of power. The existence of UFOs with superior capabilities could also spark geopolitical tensions as countries vie for control over this potentially game-changing technology. Furthermore, the involvement of military personnel in UFO encounters adds a layer of complexity to the issue. Many of these individuals are bound by strict security protocols and may face repercussions for disclosing classified information. As a result, even if they witness compelling evidence of UFOs outperforming jets, they may be reluctant to come forward for fear of jeopardizing their careers or facing ridicule from their peers. Far side of the moon, also known as the dark side, has captivated human imagination for centuries. This mysterious region of our celestial neighbor, perpetually hidden from Earth's view, has puzzled scientists and space enthusiasts alike. One of the primary reasons for the mystery surrounding the far side of the moon is its perpetual hiddenness from Earth. Due to a phenomenon known as tidal locking, the moon rotates on its axis at the same rate that it orbits Earth, resulting in one side always facing our planet while the other side remains hidden. As a result, until the advent of space exploration, humans had never seen the far side of the moon with their own eyes, leading to speculation and curiosity about what lies beyond the lunar horizon. Recently, China's lunar rover has made a groundbreaking discovery on the moons by spotting a collection of mysterious see-through glass spheres on the remote side of the moon. These peculiar formations have perplexed scientists as they do not resemble any known minerals found on the moon before. In a recent research investigation detailed in the Science Bulletin Journal, experts analyzed photographs captured by the panoramic camera installed on the rover. The study unveiled a plethora of small spherical and dumbbell-shaped glassy particles measuring in centimeters. The microscopic analysis of these distinctive globules has brought to light intriguing insights into the composition and formation processes of these unique structures. In a statement, Dr. Zhang Xiao, the lead researcher from Sun Yat-sen University in China, expressed astonishment at the extraordinary nature of the globules found on the moon. These peculiar formations have captivated our attention due to their unparalleled uniqueness within the lunar landscape. Researchers, including Apollo astronauts, have conducted detailed investigations of minerals present on the Moon, such as tektite and microtektites, which are created through interactions with asteroids, meteorites, and various celestial bodies from space. Their assessments indicate that these lunar minerals are predominantly characterized as dark, opaque, and clast-rich. The lunar rover's landing team expressed surprise at encountering transparent glass beads in that region, highlighting an unexpected discovery. During the initial 12 lunar days of the mission, at least 2 spherical formations were identified along the relatively short 700-meter or 2,300-foot path. Additionally, another 2 instances were potentially identified, but were pending confirmation due to limitations in image resolution as reported by scientists. The rover's exploration revealed significant findings within this period, shedding light on the geological composition of the lunar surface. In an endeavor to trace the source of the globules observed, the researchers embarked on a comprehensive investigation that scrutinized various characteristics such as color, morphology, geometry, and plausible exposure durations. To unravel this mystery, they meticulously compared these globules against established lunar rock types and delved into the crucial aspect of critical cooling rates of crystallization. The spherical particles are believed to exhibit a strong resemblance to those created by impacts, suggesting that the glassy structures originated from materials low in iron content. The presence of tektite-like impact glasses on the Moon suggests that similar impact events could generate such formations on other celestial bodies. It is believed that these glassy globules are likely a common byproduct of ancient impact basins on the lunar surface. Xiao emphasized the significance of studying the compositions and isotopic ages of these glassy remnants as they hold valuable insights into unraveling the early history of impacts. By analyzing the properties of these impact glasses, researchers aim to gain a deeper understanding of the impact dynamics and events that shaped the Moon and potentially other planetary bodies in the solar system. The minerals found on the lunar surface are considered abundant by researchers, making them potentially valuable resources for manufacturing glasses directly on site once human habitats are established on the Moon in the upcoming years. These abundant minerals present on the Moon hold significant promise, as they can be utilized extensively to create glass products without the need to transport materials from Earth. The researchers emphasize that there remains a significant degree of uncertainty regarding the extent of similarity in terms of both chemistry and origins between these glass globules and analogous minerals found on Earth. Dr. Chow expressed a sense of disappointment regarding the missed opportunity to gather compositional data on the glasses after the rover had already moved past them. However, he mentioned that similar globules may be prevalent on the far side of the Moon. This missed chance highlights the potential abundance of such formations that could provide valuable insights into lunar geology. Aliens may have observed civilizations emerge on Earth. Earth is perfectly positioned so that at least 1,715 nearby star systems are in view. It stands to reason that if there has been any extraterrestrial life on just one of those systems, they may have witnessed the birth of early human civilizations. These nearby star systems make up the Earth Transit Zone, or ETZ for short, and with over 300 new stars entering the ETZ within the next 5,000 years, the possibilities for alien contact only seem to increase. Not too long ago, the European Space Agency began a new mission to explore this possibility. The agency successfully launched the Gaia mission, which aims to create a 3D map of our galaxy. Gaia has discovered something truly incredible. The agency found that 75 of the closest stars in the ETZ have been touched by our radio signals. Since humans began transmitting radio signals about 100 years ago, the study found that our radio waves would have washed over them already. According to Lisa Koltanger, the director of the Carl Sagan Institute at Cornell University, strange objects punching holes through Saturn's F-ring. When it comes to space, there is truly no end to the mysteries that are revealed every day. Recently, scientists studying images captured by NASA's Cassini spacecraft noticed something interesting occurring within Saturn's notoriously chaotic F-ring. It seemed that there were large, mysterious objects about a kilometer wide that were penetrating the thin, icy ring, leaving trails of tiny ice particles steaming behind it for anywhere between 40 to 180 kilometers. These objects did not smash or blast through the rings at high speeds either. Instead, they made their way through rather leisurely at only 2 meters per second. At a temporary loss for what exactly this strange phenomenon was, astronomers fittingly named them mini-jets. Saturn's F-ring is notably dynamic and has intrigued scientists who are interested in unlocking its secrets, meaning that these mini-jets are another piece in the celestial puzzle. Astronomers have long observed the ability of moons such as Prometheus and Pandora, in addition to various other large bodies surrounding Saturn, to cause fluctuations and ripples in the F-ring, creating what seem to be sticky, snowball-like objects. Based on these recent images, scientists hypothesize that these snowballs, once formed, go on a journey through the rings, growing in size as they create their own orbits that weave spectacularly through the existing ice rings of Saturn. Interestingly, although this discovery was made fairly recently, the mini-jets have been around for quite some time. Scientists studying Cassini images from all the way back in February 2009 first noticed the trails, which were incredibly tiny in photographs, and then embarked on a scavenger hunt through all of the Cassini photographs taken in the intervening years to attempt to discover if the phenomenon was a fluke or something more regular. This image search was no small task, as the F-ring circumference is 881,000 kilometers long, and over 20,000 images of the region were taken during the time frame. However, at the end of the search, astronomers identified 500 instances of these mini-jets, which indicates that they are a much more regular occurrence than initially suspected and certainly warrant further study. Not only did the images captured by Cassini unveil the interesting mini-jets, but they also revealed a lot about the surprisingly complex nature of the F-ring. Carl Murray, who is a member of the Cassini imaging team, described it by saying that these latest Cassini results go to show how the F-ring is even more dynamic than we ever thought. The F-ring region is like a bustling zoo of objects from a kilometer in size to moons like Prometheus 100 kilometers in size, creating a spectacular show. And these ice trails certainly put on a spectacular show indeed. These images can help scientists studying space to understand how entities like Saturn with its mysterious dusty rings came to emerge according to the laws of the solar system. Additionally, astronomers studying Saturn and its rings can use these images and what they reveal about the mini-jets within to better understand the flourishing activity occurring all around the giant of our solar system. For such a seemingly lifeless expanse, space boasts some of the most amazing occurrences happening without us ever noticing. Saturn radio signal puzzles astronomers. Astronomers are feeling a little baffled by the signals they are getting from Saturn. No, this is not angstdating we are talking about. It's inconsistent radio signals. The northern and southern hemispheres of Saturn are sending natural radio wave signals that differ from one another. Not only that, but over time, Saturn's radio signals, which are regulated by the planet's rotation, change quite dramatically as time passes. This is possibly synchronized with the seasons of Saturn. Fellow gas giant Jupiter gave scientists the false confidence that they understood the radio wave patterns of other gas giants. Saturn is definitely proving them wrong because its radio wave signals are so different. Saturn kilometric radiation, or SKR, are the natural radio waves emitted by Saturn. They cannot be heard by the human ear, but when converted to the audio range we can hear, they sound like short bursts of a spinning air raid siren. But this noise varies with each rotation of the planet. Jupiter's steady radio wave pattern gave scientists the opportunity to measure its rotation rate. Saturn, on the other hand, is acting like an unpredictable toddler when it comes to handing over data that will allow its rotation rate to be measured. Other spacecraft, such as NASA's European Space Agency Ulysses probe and Cassini, collected data that found the radio burst varied by seconds to minutes. In fact, Cassini, which stayed in Saturn's orbit from February 2008 to 2017, observed that the radio emissions were in fact a duet and not solo emissions. But the two players in the duet are out of sync. The North Pole radio emissions have a repeat pattern of 10.6 hours, while the radio waves emitted from the South Pole repeat every 10.8 hours. However, even these times are not consistent, and it was shown that over time, Saturn's southern time period made a steady decrease while the northern time increased. Last March, the two came together at approximately 10.67 hours. Since the time of convergence, the southern SKR emissions have continued to decrease, and the northern ones have carried on increasing.
The Book of Enoch, an ancient text attributed to the biblical figure Enoch, offers a fascinating glimpse into the mythology and cosmology of ancient Judeo-Christian tradition. among its many accounts of celestial beings, angels, and apocalyptic visions. The Book of Enoch also contains references to mysterious creatures known as mermaids or sea monsters, which dwell in the depths of the oceans. According to the Book of Enoch, mermaids are described as hybrid beings with the upper body of a human and the lower body of a fish, reminiscent of the mere folk of folklore and legend. These aquatic creatures are said to inhabit the vast expanses of the oceans, where they dwell in hidden underwater realms and interact with other sea creatures. One of the most notable passages in the Book of Enoch that references mermaids is found in the Book of Watchers, which describes the descent of fallen angels to earth and their interactions with humanity. In this section, the fallen angels, also known as the Watchers, are said to have taught forbidden knowledge to humankind, including the art of cosmetics and adornment. Among the practices attributed to the Watchers is the breeding of hybrid beings, including mermaids, through their illicit union with human women. The Book of Enoch paints a vivid picture of the mermaids' role in the cosmic order, portraying them as mysterious and otherworldly creatures that inhabit the hidden depths of the oceans. These beings are depicted as possessing both human-like intelligence and aquatic prowess, capable of navigating the underwater realms with grace and agility. In addition to their physical attributes, mermaids in the Book of Enoch are also associated with themes of temptation, seduction, and spiritual corruption. According to the text, the presence of mermaids among human communities is seen as a sign of moral decay and spiritual decline, reflecting the influence of the fallen angels and their corrupting influence on humanity. Despite their mysterious and often ominous portrayal in the Book of Enoch, mermaids also serve as symbols of the vast and mysterious depths of the natural world. Their existence underscores the ancient belief in the interconnectedness of all living beings and the rich diversity of life forms that inhabit the Earth's oceans. Furthermore, the inclusion of mermaids in the Book of Enoch reflects the broader cultural fascination with these mythical creatures throughout history. Stories of mermaids have been passed down through oral tradition and folklore for centuries, captivating the imagination of people around the world and inspiring countless works of art, literature, and popular culture. One such text, now known as the Lost Book of the Bible, is that of the ancient religious scripture known as the Book of Enoch, originally rejected for speaking of other powerful beings known as the Watchers. The Book of Enoch and the story of Enoch is referenced several times throughout a number of different books in the Bible, such as Genesis, Hebrews, Jude, and many others. So, what were the Watchers? And why did this lead to the rejection of the story from the canonical texts? According to the Book of Enoch, the Watchers were fallen angels that began teaching humans advanced technologies and magic. It is through these Watchers that Enoch experienced his visions that featured technologies comparable to the modern-day understanding of spacecraft. In fact, the Book of Enoch opens its texts with a direct explanation to the future, claiming that people in the time of Enoch will not be able to understand his visions of technology, and that it will only be understood by humans in the distant future, most likely referring to humans in the modern day with comparable technologies. The text says the following: "There was a righteous man whose eyes were opened by the Lord, and he saw a holy vision in the heavens, which the angel showed to me. And I heard everything from them, and I understood what I saw, but not for this generation, but for a distant generation that will come." Quote. Shortly after this statement, Enoch talks about his journey ascending into the sky and seeing the heavens firsthand. His account is written as follows: "Behold, clouds called me in the vision, and mist called me, and the path of the stars and flashes of lightning hastened me and drove me. And in the vision winds caused me to fly and hasten me and lifted me up into the sky. And I proceeded until I came near a wall, which was made of hailstones, and a tongue of fire surrounded it, and it began to make me afraid. Could this passage found in the Book of Enoch be evidence of advanced alien craft witnessed by early man. Interestingly, Enoch describes that he ascended into a cloud that was hovering above him. This occurred after he saw flashes of lightning, an obvious reference to electricity, and then suddenly was lifted up into the sky by winds that began to surround him, which directly matches modern-day stories of individuals being lifted into the sky in a beam of light which is attached to an unidentified flying object. When he entered the cloud, Enoch described tongues of fire, which seem eerily similar to the red and orange lights commonly seen on modern-day sightings of extraterrestrial craft. Shortly after being taken, Enoch talks about how the Watchers wished to teach him about the stars, and that the cloud they resided in began venturing out into deep space as Enoch recorded what he saw, trying to make sense of what he was witnessing. Enoch also gives accurate descriptions of what the stars looked like when seen up close in space by describing his journey in the following statement. "And beyond this chasm, I saw a place, and it had neither the sky above it nor the foundation of earth below it. There was no water on it and no birds, but it was a desert place. And a terrible thing I saw there, 7 stars like great burning mountains." Quote, "If you were a primitive human being with no way to compare the deep endless darkness of space, would this fit an accurate description of what you witnessed?" Interestingly, Enoch describes the stars as being much larger in person, something not traditionally known at the time, with ancient man believing that stars were nothing more than tiny lights that lit up the night sky. However, Enoch directly compares the stars to great burning mountains. If this experience fails to provide substantial proof as to Enoch traveling through the stars with the almost godlike Watchers, Enoch continues to explain what sounds almost like a black hole swallowing a dying star. In the scripture, the Book of Enoch describes, "And from there I went to another place more terrible than this. And I saw a terrible thing. There was a great fire there, which burnt and blazed. And the place had a cleft reaching into the abyss, full of great pillars of fire which were made to fall. Neither its extent nor its size could I see, nor could I see its source." Although most people can hardly imagine what a black hole would look like in person, a star falling into an abyss that had no bottom and of size that could not be seen, with no source, is one of the most accurate descriptions someone could give for a singularity. The description of a cleft reaching into the abyss is commonly how stars are swallowed in large, arcing orbits with long pillars of fire reaching in. When Enoch then began to show that he was terrified of the abyss, the Watchers explained that he should not be scared, and then went on to elaborate that the black hole was nothing more than a prison for angels. The Book of Enoch is one of the most mysterious texts to emerge from ancient literature, comprising several works attributed to the biblical figure Enoch. This collection of writings offers a unique glimpse into the cosmology, theology, and esoteric wisdom of the ancient world. From its controversial authorship to its profound influence on later religious and mystical traditions, the mysteries of Enoch continue to fascinate scholars and seekers alike. Enoch, the protagonist of the book of Genesis, is depicted as a righteous man who walked with God and was taken up to heaven. However, it is the apocryphal Book of Enoch that provides the most detailed and elaborate account of his mystical journey and encounters with celestial beings. This ancient text, composed primarily in Aramaic and Ethiopic, consists of several distinct works, including the Book of the Watchers, the Book of Parables, the Book of Astronomy, and the Book of Dreams. One of the most striking aspects of the Book of Enoch is its vivid depiction of the heavenly realms and the hierarchy of angels and archangels that populate them. According to Enochic literature, the cosmos is divided into multiple layers, with the earth situated at the center and the heavens above, each inhabited by different orders of celestial beings. These angelic beings, known as Watchers, serve as intermediaries between God and humanity tasked with overseeing the affairs of the world and guiding human destiny. The Book of Enoch also delves into esoteric topics such as astronomy, astrology, and cosmology, presenting a complex and intricate vision of the universe. Enoch is portrayed as receiving divine revelations about the movements of the stars, the cycles of the seasons, and the mysteries of creation, offering profound insights into the nature of reality and the divine plan. Furthermore, the Book of Enoch contains prophetic visions and apocalyptic imagery that foretell the coming of a final judgment and the establishment of a new age of righteousness. These apocalyptic themes resonate with similar motifs found in other ancient religious texts, such as the Book of Revelation in the New Testament and the prophetic literature of Judaism and Christianity. Despite its profound influence on later religious traditions, the Book of Enoch was excluded from the canonical scriptures of Judaism and Christianity, deemed apocryphal and heretical by religious authorities. However, fragments of the text were preserved among the Dead Sea Scrolls discovered in the caves of Qumran in the mid-20th century, sparking renewed interest and scholarly investigation into its origins and significance. The exploration of Mars has long captivated the imagination of scientists and space enthusiasts alike, with each new discovery shedding light on the planet's mysterious past and potential for extraterrestrial life. Among the many intriguing findings from Mars exploration missions, one particular image captured by NASA's Curiosity rover has sparked widespread interest and speculation. The apparent sighting of what looks like an ammonite in one of its photographs. The image in question was taken by Curiosity's Mass-AM camera and subsequently shared with the public by NASA. In the photograph, a small coiled object resembling the fossilized shell of an ancient marine organism can be seen partially buried in the Martian rock. The object's spiral shape and segmented chambers bear a striking resemblance to the shells of terrestrial ammonites, extinct relatives of modern-day cephalopods such as squid and nautilus. The discovery of a potential ammonite fossil on Mars raises a host of tantalizing questions about the planet's past and its potential for harboring life. Ammonites were prolific inhabitants of Earth's oceans for hundreds of millions of years, from the Devonian period to the end of the Cretaceous period, and their fossils are commonly found in sedimentary rocks around the world. The presence of an apparent ammonite fossil on Mars suggests that the planet may have once been home to liquid water and potentially hospitable conditions for life. However, the interpretation of the object in the photograph as an actual fossil remains a subject of debate. While some have pointed to its resemblance to terrestrial ammonites and the possibility of ancient Martian oceans, others have offered alternative explanations for its appearance. One possibility is that the object is a naturally occurring rock formation that has been eroded or weathered into a spiral shape by wind or other geological processes. Another possibility is that it is a concretion, a type of mineral deposit that can form in sedimentary rocks through the precipitation of minerals around a nucleus. Despite these alternative explanations, the discovery of the potential ammonite fossil highlights the importance of continued exploration and investigation of Mars' geological history. Over the past decade, robotic rovers and orbiters have provided unprecedented insights into the planet's past environment, revealing evidence of ancient riverbeds, lakebeds, and even possible hot springs. These findings suggest that Mars was once a much warmer and wetter planet than it is today, with conditions that may have been conducive to the emergence and evolution of life. In addition to its potential implications for Mars' past habitability, the discovery of a possible ammonite fossil also underscores the broader significance of astrobiology and the search for life beyond Earth. The exploration of Mars and other planetary bodies in our solar system offers a unique opportunity to study the processes that shape planetary evolution and the conditions necessary for life to arise and thrive. By studying the geology, chemistry, and biology of Mars, scientists hope to gain a better understanding of the potential for life elsewhere in the universe and our place within it. Evidence of water on Mars. The idea of water on Mars has been present in science for many years. It is now well known that Mars is considered a mostly dry planet with limited evidence of moisture. However, new information shows that ancient waters once flowed over the surface of the red planet. As we mentioned earlier, the presence of the blueberries also lends itself to the idea that running water was present on Mars. The first major hint suggesting that Mars was covered in water is through the craters formed on the face of the planet. Scientists from the Netherlands assert that the only thing capable of forming the kind of massive craters discovered would have been large amounts of water. Specifically, water that was deep and remained in one place for a long time. Alongside these craters are various channels formed in the surface of Mars, which suggests that running water existed and created these pathways. These channels are indented, which tells us that this running water existed for a long period of time. This confirms that once Mars was home to many lakes, rivers, and perhaps also larger bodies of water, like oceans. The soil found on Mars has been found to have hydrogen in it. This has been attributed to the presence of water molecules in the soil as well. This could indicate that water may still exist beneath the surface of Mars. NASA has found rocks that look like concrete slabs built from this soil. The rock has eroded on one side. The other is completely smooth. Scientists affirm that water, specifically running water, is responsible. Another important piece of evidence that Mars contained water is the ice now present. Various rovers have discovered ice and glaciers. The temperatures on Mars now are far too low to support liquid water. There are also minerals and rocks that have formed under the ice that imply that liquid water was once part of the red planet. In 2018, a subglacial lake was discovered. It extends about 20 kilometers, and it is considered to be the first known stable body of liquid water on Mars. This provides important insight into what Mars once was, and it also allows scientists to better assess whether Mars could or ever did support life. Throughout these studies, scientists are very positive that running water once existed on Mars in high volumes. The Curiosity rover was sent to Mars to discover whether flowing water ever existed on the planet, and it seems that this has been confirmed. This shapes everything we know and continue to learn about Mars as we discover what life may have looked like when water was running on this planet. While some scientists believe that the running water only existed for a short amount of time on Mars, it seems that the combination of studies and evidence suggests that it existed much longer than previously believed. This suggests that there may have been enough water present for a long enough period of time that Mars could have been considered habitable. The evidence of running water opens new questions about whether there was plant or animal life once on Mars and how long ago this may have been. Scientists argue that the evidence of water on Mars is the first true evidence of a possible habitable environment. Water is essential to all life as we know it. So the idea that Mars once contained this necessity for life is incredible. Universe is a false vacuum. There are a few ways that physicists have toyed with when it comes to theorizing about the destruction of the universe, and they generally have ominous names. The Big Rip, the Heat Death, and the Big Crunch. One particularly interesting hypothetical destruction is vacuum decay. Before diving into understanding vacuum decay, we need to backtrack and talk about Higgs field. Higgs field is a field of energy that permeates our universe. Similar to an electric field, Higgs field varies in strength. The power of Higgs field in any particular area is dependent on its potential. Another part of this operation is Higgs boson. Higgs boson is the foundational particle connected with Higgs field. It was proposed by Peter Higgs, Franz Watt, and 4 other theorists in 1964 and confirmed in 2012, resulting in a Nobel Prize for the scientists. The potential of Higgs field tells us whether the universe is in a state of true vacuum or false vacuum. A vacuum is a space entirely lacking in matter. It is also the stable lowest energy state. Currently, the universe is in a false vacuum state called metastable. It's not actively decaying, but it is also not completely stable. 2 glaring issues to consider when living in a metastable universe are that a high enough energy event can, in theory, take a small region of the universe from the false vacuum into the true vacuum. This would create a domino effect of a true vacuum that would expand in all directions at the speed of light. Such an event would be lethal. The second issue is that the tiny particle can create a passage through a boundary between one region and another. This could include tunneling through to the vacuum state. So a universe in a metastable false vacuum has the potential to suddenly be partly in a true vacuum state, which would be detrimental. The possibility of vacuum decay has been weighing on the mind of researchers recently because the measurements of Higgs boson seem to indicate that the vacuum is now metastable. This might seem like a reason to feel alarmed and move into a state of existential dread. However, the life of a metastable universe is predicted to be substantially longer than the life of the current universe. Starless exoplanets may orbit black holes. Exoplanets are, put simply, just planets that don't orbit our sun. Recent studies have found, though, that some exoplanets, rather than orbit a star, are orbiting supermassive black holes. This is also thought to be quite common across the universe, as evidence suggests that at the center of a galaxy, the supermassive black hole can pull planets into its orbit. What's more is that it doesn't stop there. Theory suggests that these planets can also be formed around these black holes. Whilst it's true that black holes are never ending in the pursuit to consume everything around it, they can also form a ring around themselves. These rings are made of various gases and dust, but form anywhere up to 30 away from the supermassive black hole itself. It is theorized that planets can be formed when a star forms. The cloud of gas and dust from around the star collapses and forms disks. These disks are then pulled together and merged by gravity. As you can probably put together, this new research suggests that the clouds formed around a supermassive black hole can create these disks and potentially, in turn, planets. These planets created around the black holes would be around 10 times the mass of the Earth and could be giant ice or rock planets. Also, because these planets would be formed light years away from the black hole, that there wouldn't be any strange happenings on these planets caused by the extreme gravity from the black hole. The scientists carrying out this research at the University of Kagoshima in Japan also estimate that tens of thousands of these planets could be orbiting the supermassive black holes in the centers of galaxies, and even go as far as to say this could be happening in our own galaxy too. Potential third planet discovered orbiting Proxima Centauri. Although we have not yet discovered extraterrestrial life in our solar system, that does not mean that we are totally without neighbors. In fact, it is the very study of these easily visible nearby neighbors that has allowed us to learn so much about the endless stretch of space that surrounds us. Recently, a surprising discovery was made about the star closest to our sun, Proxima Centauri, which is the smallest member of the Alpha Centauri system of the Centaurus constellation and is located just over 4 light-years away. Findings published in the Astronomy and Astrophysics Journal detailed how a team of astronomers analyzing observations made by the European Southern Observatory's Very Large Telescope in Chile located another planet orbiting the nearby star, which makes it the third planet in this small neighboring system. It seems that the study of this strange new little planet dubbed Proxima d could tell researchers much about elements of our solar system that were previously unknown. Firstly, it orbits incredibly close to Proxima Centauri. For reference, Mercury orbits our own Sun at a distance of 10 times that of Proxima d's orbit of Proxima Centauri. One lap around its host star takes just 5 days, while the other two planets in the system, Proxima b and Proxima c, take 11 days and a whopping 5 years, respectively. Additionally, with a mass barely a quarter of Earth's, it is one of the lightest exoplanets that has been discovered so far. Due to the closeness and variability of this neighboring system, scientists are keen to learn its secrets. However, knowledge of the Proxima Centauri system is actually rather slim, as Proxima b was not confirmed as a planet until 2020. In fact, it was the study of this planet using the shell spectrograph for rocky exoplanets and stable spectroscopic observations or espresso instrument on the ESO's very large telescope that led to the discovery of Proxima d as mere hints of a corresponding signal surrounding this new planet. After specific espresso measurements were conducted dedicated exclusively to the potential Proxima d, it was confirmed that the system indeed hosted a third, albeit very small planet. This achievement is extremely important. Dr. Pedro Figueroa, an astronomer with the ESO and a member of the espresso team. It shows that the radial velocity technique has the potential to unveil a population of like planets, like our own, that are expected to be the most abundant in our galaxy, and that can potentially host life as we know it. This result clearly shows what espresso is capable of, and makes me wonder about what it will be able to find in the future. NASA can't explain strange spiral in space. In February 2006, scientists finally uncovered the true nature of star AFGL 3068, a first-of-its-kind spiral object 3,000 light-years away in the constellation Pegasus. Before this discovery, scientists knew the star existed, but the object was too faint for scientists to determine exactly what the spot was. Only after a 33-minute-long exposure with the ultra-sensitive advanced camera for surveys on the Hubble Space Telescope did scientists begin to really see the spirals come into view. Scientists found that the entity consisted of large, perfectly placed coils of dust floating out in the universe. Before AFGL 3068, the only spirals found in space were known as spiral galaxies. This star is nothing like a spiral galaxy. First of all, it is not a galaxy at all. Instead, it is made up of a binary star system that includes two stars orbiting around each other. The first star is a red giant carbon star, and the second is a blue-white star that exists 103 astronomical units away from the red giant. 103 astronomical units are approximately 2 times the distance between the Sun and Pluto. Since the two stars are so far from one another, they take approximately 800 years to orbit around each other. So how are the spirals created? In the most basic sense, the red giant releases carbon material. This material then combines to form larger molecules, which create fine black dust. This dust covers the red giant and blocks all or most of its light. The blue-white star's gravitational pull tugs the dust toward itself and away from the red giant. But most of the dust ends up escaping into space during the process. As the two binary stars circle each other, the black dust escapes outward to form a spiral. After determining how the spirals were created, scientists wondered how the system was being illuminated. The dust being dispelled is dark and has no illumination qualities of its own, yet it could still be seen. The star could not have illuminated the spirals because it was also covered in the black dust. So scientists determined that the spirals were being illuminated by our own galaxy, the Milky Way. Interestingly, This is the only celestial body that is not illuminated by sunlight, starlight, or fluorescence that has been photographed. While these phenomena might occur similarly in other systems, they were not officially discovered before AFGL, March 1968. This is because these phenomena can be difficult to find. First, the red giant is consistently losing significant amounts of mass in the form of black dust. That level of mass loss can only be temporary, and scientists must be in the right place at the right time. Second, the giant would have to be part of a binary system orbiting around another star big enough to have a large enough gravitational pull to draw in the black dust. This fantastic new discovery can help scientists and astronomers solve the many mysteries in other systems that were unsolvable before the discovery on FGL March 1968. Mysterious object on Saturn's moons. One of the things that is usually certain about the lifeless planet orbiting the Sun is the fact that things rarely change. Scientists looking at two satellite images of the same location on a distant planet, taken sometimes years apart, might find themselves playing the world's hardest game of spot the difference. However, an image taken of a lake on one of Saturn's moons caused researchers to do a double take as a strange formation had emerged. And in an even stranger turn of events, the formation disappeared just as suddenly as it had appeared, leaving scientists with little clue as to what it could be, where it had come from, and where it might have gone. The image was taken by NASA's Cassini probe as it circled around Titan, Saturn's largest moon and one of the most varied landscapes of the solar system besides our own planet Earth, larger than Mercury and over 1 billion kilometers from Earth. Titan is the only moon in our solar system with an atmosphere composition similar to Earth's, but with a much higher surface pressure. It is also the only place in the entire solar system, other than Earth, that has liquids, as its surface is made up of liquid hydrocarbons flowing in rivers, lakes, and oceans that can reach hundreds of kilometers across and hundreds of meters deep next to rolling dunes and mountains. It was in one of these lakes that the white blob appeared in the northern hemisphere of Titan. The lake in question is called Ligeia Mare and is estimated to be over 150 meters deep with the strange formation, measuring around 19 kilometers wide and 9 kilometers deep and materializing about 10 kilometers off the shore. Interestingly, the mysterious figure was absent in satellite images taken just 16 days after the initial photo. Although Titan's lakes are generally totally smooth due to the lack of wind in its atmosphere, it is thought that the formation could be initial deep sea waves as Titan's northern hemisphere begins to slowly rotate closer to the Sun. Other theories include floating icebergs, a rush of bubbles or matter being released from deep within the stagnant sea, or something suspended in the liquid below the surface. However, as the formation was absent from subsequent photos taken of the location, scientists are forced to theorize based on just one image, meaning that unless it mysteriously reappears again, we may likely never know exactly what it was that was changing on such a static planet. What made the discovery so interesting is that planetary scientists believe that if there truly is life somewhere outside of Earth's atmosphere, then they will find it lurking deep in the lakes, rivers, and oceans of Titan. Because of the interesting composition of Titan, there is a possibility that any existing life on the surface of this moon could be very chemically different from life on Earth. So scientists study any changes or outlying formations on the surface of Titan very closely. Although this discovery left us with more questions than answers, perhaps it is the next step in discovering life outside of our Earth. Amateur astronomer discovers a tiny moon around Jupiter. We often hear the advice given to us growing up to making money, doing something you love, or sometimes to try and keep work and hobbies distinct from one another. Whichever side of this debate you fall on, amateur astronomer Kylie has proved that you do not need to be a professional to make great progress and significant achievements in a field. In 2020, Kylie successfully located 4 Jupiter moons that had been considered lost after their predicted patterns of movement seemingly changed. Lee replot their predicted trajectories and accurately highlighted which moons these were from telescope images that were publicly available. Following this feat, Lee has managed to discover and locate a previously unknown moon orbiting Jupiter. Kylie posted on June 30th in an online community for the world's leading amateur astronomers, the Minor Planet mailing list, commenting, "I'm proud to say that this is the first planetary moon discovered by an amateur astronomer." Using old telescope images from February 2003, Lee spotted the small moon orbiting Jupiter 385 million miles away from Earth. Jupiter has a total of 79 moons. And now, thanks to Lee, that's 80. And this unnamed satellite could be one of just many more moons we are yet to discover within our very own solar system. Some of these Jovian moons are so small that they can be seen by a large telescope for only 1 month in a year. Jeff Hecht from Skyant Telescope reports that Lee made the discovery using images taken back in February 2003 by the Canada-France-Hawaii Telescope. This is the same data set from which they were able to pinpoint the lost Jovian moons in 2020. Both the new moon and the lost moons were discovered within the Colmar cluster, a group of 22 rocks with orbits fairly similar to one another in space. Many NASA scientists have predicted that Carmi, the largest of these satellites, was once an asteroid that has broken into smaller pieces, giving each part a similar orbit with an average radius of 14 miles. After Lee had made the initial observation, they calculated the 22 days arc the moon follows by using data available from the Subaru telescope, which confirmed that the previously unseen object was indeed a moon orbiting Jupiter. Lee has elaborated on their work, explaining that they made 76 observations, which covered a total of 15.26 years, meaning the orbit is mapped out as secured for decades. They stated, "I hereby present to you Jupiter's 80th moon. EJ0061 equals S/2003J24. Other amateur astronomers have congratulated." Kylie explaining to those who are uninformed about the hours of work required to search through the incredible amounts of data. Lee has described their search for Jupiter's moons as a summer hobby before I returned to school. This is an impressive feat and an incredible discovery made without advanced equipment, but rather the data that is available to the public. Mars is humming. The InSight rover landed on Mars in November 2018, landing near the equator of the red planet. NASA's robot has been measuring the planet's seismic activity and conducting tests on its geographic qualities. Its mission is to understand and learn about the geology of rocky planets to observe their evolution and gain some more understanding about Earth's history and potential future. Scientists cannot get enough data on rocky planets just from Earth. They need to gather information from others. InSight landed in the Elysian Planitia, a small crater located on a volcanic plain. This location is often caught in wind and dust storms. The data it has gathered so far suggests that the seismic activity and magnetic field on Mars are much stronger than the researchers estimated, about 10 times more. While collecting data, the rover recorded a strange humming sound that researchers and experts have not been able to concretely identify the cause of. They have their speculations, though, and suggest it is caused by both seismic movement below the surface as well as the wind above it. When combined together, these two forces create a strange sound. They actually cannot be heard by humans. It falls outside our frequency range, but gets picked up on readings by the robot and its machines. So, any future human visitors will not be able to hear Mars humming. The researchers are excited at finding so many similarities between Mars and Earth. The infrasound sound we can hear and the atmospheric turbulence are encouraging to their studies on finding out Mars' history and seeing what its timeline looks like compared to ours. Interestingly enough, Earth also has a faint infrasound humming to it. There have been reports of that have been a hot debate for many years, even outside the astronomy community. Scientists can't really explain it, but many people try to blame it for certain diseases and health issues. There have been many locations across Earth that have complained of some sort of noise pollution and mysterious humming sounds. Now, InSight has identified a similar one on Mars. The robot was using a seismometer to measure the quakes underneath the planet. Since its first reading, it has measured over 400 quakes. It even managed to find fault lines on Mars, which confirms the constant seismic activity found. A few of the quakes have registered at 3 to 4 magnitudes, but most of them were so small that the machines and scientists were unable to detect their origin. Researchers also found that there are more quakes on Mars when the planet gets cold. When it cools down, it contracts, which forces the brittle layers near the surface to break in a way to accommodate their positioning. This breaking is causing stress on the surface that results in quakes. There are still many mysteries that the InSight researchers are excited about delving into, like how they recorded some type of activity at Mars depth. They believe there might even be hot magma still at its core. They will continue to measure the activity and gather as much knowledge about Mars' geological history as possible. The unveiling of the distinct fingerprints on the extraterrestrial body sparks intense debates and conjecture, not only among scientists, but also in broader circles. Doubters cast shadows of uncertainty on the genuineness of the discoveries, casting doubt on both the trustworthiness of the examinations and the validity of the assertions. The emergence of these peculiar fingerprints on the alien organism has set off a maelstrom of discussions with various factions offering contrasting viewpoints on the matter. Proponents advocating for the discovery assert that the existence of distinct fingerprints offers convincing proof regarding the extraterrestrial source of the alien entity. They highlight the detailed procedures and thorough examination carried out by specialists, reinforcing the credibility of the results. This breakthrough prompts profound inquiries into the essence of life outside our planet and challenges our comprehension of the universe. The presence of these unique fingerprints not only supports the claim of the alien body's origin from beyond Earth, but also invites contemplation on the potential implications for humanity's perception of existence in a vast cosmos. Others have questioned whether these discoveries are hybrids. The reported identification of an extraterrestrial being possessing distinct fingerprints carries profound implications for humanity's perception of the cosmos and our position in it. Should this discovery be verified, it would mark a significant advancement in our pursuit of comprehending the enigmas surrounding life beyond Earth. Such confirmation would not only represent a groundbreaking achievement, but also challenge established beliefs regarding evolution and the biological realm, prompting a reassessment of the potential diversity and intricacies of organisms existing elsewhere in the universe. This revelation has the potential to reshape our understanding of the vast expanse of the cosmos and the potential existence of life forms that differ significantly from those known to us. The breakthrough has the potential to transform the field of forensic science significantly and revolutionize the way fingerprint analysis is approached, presenting fresh perspectives on the origins and variety of life in the vast universe. Delving into the unique characteristics of extraterrestrial life forms' fingerprints may reveal valuable insights into their evolutionary trajectories and biological diversities, contributing to a deeper understanding of the intricate mechanisms that shape life across the cosmos. Scientists have just announced that scans on the 2 aliens presented in Mexico suggests that they are not assembled or manipulated. Scientists and academics, in their ongoing effort to maintain credibility and uphold scientific rigor, have refuted the veracity of the findings presented by these researchers, regarding them as yet another publicity stunt. In Mexico City, medical professionals working at a laboratory conducted X-ray and CT scans on the bodies, utilizing advanced imaging techniques to examine and analyze them in detail. In terms of uncovering the truth behind the alleged hybrid bodies found in Mexico, it is important to note that Jose de Jesus Alcibaades, the director of the Health Sciences Research Institute of the Secretary of the Navy, led the investigations and concluded that there was no evidence of assembly or manipulation of the bodies. This finding directly contradicts previous suggestions that the bodies were constructed using a combination of animal and human bones. As curiosity surrounding the alien body grew, researchers decided to subject it to a series of scientific tests, including X-ray imaging to reveal its internal structure and composition. The X-rays unveiled startling details about the creature's anatomy, including a peculiar metal implant lodged in its neck, a discovery that only deepened the mystery surrounding its origin and purpose. The presence of the metal implant fueled speculation about the creature's origins and its potential connection to extraterrestrial beings. Some suggested that the implant served as a tracking device or communication device, allowing the creature to interact with its alien counterparts or navigate unfamiliar terrain. Others proposed more sinister explanations, such as experimentation or manipulation by unknown forces. The purported discovery of an alien body in Peru and the revelation of the metal implant have profound implications for humanity and our understanding of the universe. If confirmed, the discovery could represent a paradigm shift in our understanding of life beyond Earth, confirming that we are not alone in the cosmos. Speculation abounds about the origins and motivations of the alleged alien body, with theories ranging from interstellar travelers to clandestine government experiments. Some suggest that the creature may have crash-landed on Earth in a UFO, while others propose that it may be a genetically engineered being created by advanced civilizations. The possibility of extraterrestrial life has long intrigued humanity, fueling speculation, fascination, and scientific inquiry. Imagine a scenario in which this age-old question is definitively answered, and the existence of intelligent beings from other worlds is revealed to be real. The revelation of extraterrestrial life would constitute a seismic shift in our scientific understanding of the cosmos. For centuries, humanity has pondered the question of whether we are alone in the universe. The confirmation of alien life would validate the notion that life is not unique to Earth, but rather a common occurrence throughout the cosmos. This paradigm shift would revolutionize fields such as astrobiology, astronomy, and planetary science, prompting new avenues of research and exploration as scientists strive to understand the nature and diversity of extraterrestrial life forms. The discovery of extraterrestrial life would catalyze a wave of technological advancements as humanity endeavors to study, communicate with, and potentially visit these newfound neighbors in the cosmos. Breakthroughs in space exploration technologies, such as faster-than-light propulsion systems, advanced telescopes, and interstellar communication devices, would enable humanity to venture further into the cosmos and establish contact with alien civilizations. Moreover, the need to protect Earth from potential threats posed by extraterrestrial visitors would spur the development of enhanced planetary defense systems and surveillance technologies. Alien disclosure would have profound cultural and societal implications, reshaping our collective worldview and sense of identity. The revelation that we are not alone in the universe would foster a sense of cosmic interconnectedness and solidarity among humanity, transcending national borders, political divides, and cultural differences. It would inspire a newfound sense of wonder and curiosity about the cosmos, igniting a global renaissance of science, exploration, and discovery. Mr. Alberto, a researcher posting updates about the mysterious Nazca mummies, has just come forward and said that a new discovery that was made a few hours ago is going to completely rewrite human history. Mr. Alberto said there is a giant head among the biological finds from Nazca of a humanoid being approximately 8 meters in height, adding that new X-rays will be released, which will change human history forever. This is just the latest update to come from this region in regards to the mysterious Nazca mummies. The Nazca mummy claims center around a series of bizarre humanoid remains allegedly unearthed near the Nazca lines by a team of Peruvian and international researchers. These purported mummies, described as small humanoid figures with elongated skulls and unusual features, have been presented as evidence of an ancient pre-Columbian civilization that predates the Inca Empire. But as of right now, this 8-meter tall humanoid is by far the biggest one that's been discovered. The initial reports of the Nazca mummies sparked widespread skepticism and controversy within the scientific community, with many experts dismissing them as elaborate hoaxes or products of modern tampering. However, as more evidence and documentation have emerged, many researchers have begun to take the claims more seriously, recognizing the potential significance of the findings if proven authentic. In the United States, scientists and archaeologists have started to investigate the Nazca mummy claims with a cautious but open-minded approach, recognizing the need for rigorous scientific analysis and verification. Teams of researchers from institutions such as the Smithsonian Institution and the University of California, Los Angeles, have expressed interest in examining the alleged mummies and associated artifacts. One of the key areas of inquiry for American scientists is the authenticity of the Nazca mummies and their potential cultural and historical significance. Using advanced techniques such as radiocarbon dating, DNA analysis, and CT scanning, researchers hope to determine the age, origin, and biological characteristics of the mummified remains, shedding light on the people who created them and their place in ancient Andean society. The esteemed expert in forensics, Dr. John McDowell, has actively participated in the investigation concerning the purportedly non-human mummies discovered in Peru. Dr. McDowell said that in the initial phases of their research endeavor, they were granted access to all the resources that had been requested, and this was done without any concealment or secrecy. This transparent and open approach marked the genesis of their investigative journey. Dr. John McDowell boasts an illustrious military career, having served as a former colonel in the U.S. Army and being the recipient of numerous accolades from the U.S. Department of Defense. Furthermore, he holds the esteemed title of Professor Emeritus at the University of Colorado and has notably held the prestigious position of President of the American Academy of Forensic Sciences, in recognition of his significant contributions to the field of forensic sciences. Dr. McDowell was honored with the prestigious 2024 Gradwell Medallion, a distinguished award widely regarded as the highest form of peer recognition within the forensic sciences community. The most capable team from the United States is currently present in Peru, actively engaged in on-site research on the human remains. If granted the necessary permissions and resources to continue their investigation effectively, there is a promising prospect of uncovering valuable insights and revelations. This esteemed group, renowned for their expertise and dedication, is devoting meticulous attention to examining the archaeological remains in Peru. Among the group was Dr. James Caruso, Chief Medical Examiner and Coroner of the City and County of Denver, Colorado, Dr. William Rodriguez, Forensic Anthropologist, Maryland State Medical Examiner, and previously mentioned Dr. John McDowell, retired professor at University of Colorado, Forensic Odontologist, Dr. John McDowell said that they could have not been more professional, and that data was made readily available to them. Ever since the controversy surrounding the Nazca mummies emerged, a notable player in opposition to the investigation has been the Peruvian Ministry of Culture. Firm in their stance, they have consistently contended that these preserved remains are merely elaborate dolls, crafted by grave robbers with the intention of illicitly profiting from their sale on the underground market. During a recent presentation, a representative from the Ministry of Culture made an unsuccessful attempt to disrupt the proceedings. It appears that there was an expectation for Mosen and his team to physically present the mummified bodies at the event, a misconception that was swiftly dispelled. However, as the presentation unfolded, crucial insights were provided by American scientists who were present, offering their long-awaited expert analysis on the matter. This ongoing saga underscores the deep-rooted skepticism and divergent perspectives surrounding the authenticity and significance of the Nazca mummies, highlighting the complex interplay of cultural preservation, scientific inquiry, and commercial interests in such contentious archaeological debates. Dr. John McDowell, a respected retired professor and forensic odontologist from the University of Colorado, stands out as a prominent figure among his peers and took the lead in representing their collective stance. Their unanimous conclusion emphasized the urgent necessity for thorough investigations into the bodies in question, firmly refuting any claims of their authenticity. This pivotal revelation paves the way for academic institutions to delve deeper into the examination of the Nazca mummy specimens. Such a critical juncture not only underscores the significance of further scrutiny, but also highlights the potential for a multitude of scholarly establishments to engage with these samples, facilitating additional comprehensive studies and analysis. It's just been announced in the last few days that 2 new Nazca humanoids have been discovered, and oddly enough, their fingerprints are said to be completely different to that of a human's. Upon viewing the images, a significant number of individuals expressed their profound admiration, highlighting the challenging nature of replicating a fingerprint as attested by many observers. The intricate details captured in the photographs left a lasting impression, with viewers acknowledging the complexity involved, adding that it would be very difficult to fake a fingerprint. In a profound reflection on the Nazca discoveries, a user highlighted the distinct physical and biological attributes that define our individuality. This observation shed light on a novel revelation concerning these remarkable findings. Delving into the depths of these Nazca discoveries, the user emphasized the significance of recognizing the unique traits that set us apart as individuals. Amid recent revelations, it has come to light that the Peruvian government is facing a substantial lawsuit amounting to $300 million. The heart of this issue lies in the lack of assistance provided by Peruvian authorities to those delving into these significant discoveries. Instead of support, the investigators have encountered adversity in the form of insults and discreditation hurled at them by officials who have gone so far as to label them as deceivers. In a secluded area of Peru, the story takes place as indigenous inhabitants chance upon a remarkable spectacle, an unconventional item partly concealed in the ground. Upon thorough examination, they discover what seems to be the remnants of an extraterrestrial entity, a humanoid form displaying unfamiliar physical traits like elongated extremities, a large skull, and uniquely non-human attributes. The locals, taken aback by this find, promptly inform the authorities, sparking a wave of intrigue and investigation. This discovery incites a profound fascination among the populace as scientists, researchers, and curious onlookers flock to the site to scrutinize and unravel the mystery surrounding this enigmatic being. In the midst of escalating curiosity surrounding the alleged extraterrestrial being, a team of dedicated researchers sets out on an exhaustive and thorough investigation. delving deep into the intricate details of its physical characteristics and makeup. As they meticulously examine every aspect, a particular focus is placed on the hands of the enigmatic creature, revealing a fascinating discovery, a set of fingerprints that defy all known patterns observed in the human species. This unprecedented revelation sparks a new wave of intrigue and raises profound questions about the origins and nature of this mysterious entity. Through a meticulous examination of the extraterrestrial being's fingerprints, researchers have unveiled intricate patterns characterized by distinct ridges and whorls that elude any resemblance to established human fingerprint archetypes. The baffling uniqueness of these prints has left experts puzzled, hinting at a potential divergence in evolutionary lineage or a wholly distinct origin for the enigmatic creature. In the realm of modern technology and exploration, the discovery of unknown or mysterious phenomena often begins with the click of a mouse or a tap on a screen. Google Earth, with its vast database of satellite imagery, has become a tool not only for navigation and geographic exploration, but also for uncovering mysteries hidden beneath the Earth's surface. One such mystery unfolded in the remote and frigid waters surrounding Antarctica, where an unsuspecting user of Google Earth stumbled upon a startling and perplexing sight. A large underwater humanoid figure captured in the depths of the Southern Ocean. The discovery occurred in early 2023, when an amateur explorer and enthusiast of remote places was conducting a virtual tour of Antarctica using Google Earth satellite imagery. As the individual navigated the satellite imagery around the coastline of Antarctica, he noticed a peculiar shape beneath the icy waters near Deception Island in Antarctica. Initially dismissing it as a glitch or artifact in the imagery, he zoomed in for a closer look. He couldn't believe what he saw, describing it as a massive humanoid figure lying motionless just beneath the icy surface. Since the photos are oddly unique and cannot be replicated on Google Earth, some have speculated that they may have accidentally leaked online but have since been deleted. The figure appeared humanoid in shape with distinct features that resembled arms, legs, and a head, although exaggerated in proportion compared to a typical human. Its surface seemed to glisten faintly, hinting at a smooth and reflective texture that defied natural formations. The individual immediately captured screenshots of the anomaly and shared them on social media, igniting a flurry of speculation and debate. News of the discovery spread rapidly across online forums and news outlets. Researchers into the unknown weighed in with theories ranging from ancient underwater civilizations to mysterious beings, something that has been talked about by various fishermen and sailors throughout the region. Following the initial flurry of excitement and subsequent investigation into the discovery of the underwater humanoid off the coast of Antarctica, many researchers said that the creature was removed from Google Earth's publicly accessible satellite imagery. One individual shared an observation mentioning that it is a frequent occurrence for Google Earth to obscure specific locations that they prefer to keep hidden from public view. Additionally, this user noted that there have been multiple documented instances of Google engaging in this practice. This behavior of selectively blurring out areas has sparked curiosity and speculation among users about the reasons behind such actions. In the present day, the reasons behind their actions remain unclear. Yet, experts in the analysis of mysterious objects suggest that this behavior is a deliberate attempt to suppress discussions or conceal the artifacts, making them inaccessible for further discovery. The motives driving these actions are shrouded in mystery, prompting speculation and intrigue among researchers. This strange behavior fuels intrigue and speculation within the academic community, as the true intentions behind these efforts to conceal the artifacts remain elusive. What adds to the intrigue is the timing of this revelation, occurring mere days subsequent to the baffling disappearance of other mysterious underwater formations from satellite imagery. Many suggested that this mysterious creature could have been the Ningen, an immense variety of unique species that are unique to this region of the world, thrive in the vast and icy waters of Antarctica. However, in this cold realm, there are tales of a singular being that sticks out because of its remarkable height of about 90 feet and its unnerving resemblance to a human. A mysterious being frequently mentioned in folklore, the Ningen exudes mystery as it appears to rise from the depths. The Ningen's continued presence in the icy waters of Antarctica is mysterious and alluring, raising questions about its history and significance in this icy region. The enormous aquatic Ningen is sometimes characterized as a giant humanoid with pale white skin and appendages that resemble human limbs on its fins. This creature's skin has a texture that is very similar to that of a beluga whale, slimy and fatty. Witnesses claim seeing this strange monster with two enormous eyes below its head and a wide mouth shaped like a slit. No other distinguishable features have been disclosed as of yet. Witnesses have noted that the Ningen is mostly active at night based on their observations and comments regarding its nocturnal habits. The Ningen is more frequently observed at night, according to sources, which suggests that it surfaced during the dark hours to breathe or forage for food without being noticed. The mysterious Ningen first came to light in the 1990s when Japanese fishermen described having an odd encounter with one of these monsters under a peaceful, starry sky. They were sailing over the Pacific Ocean when the incident occurred. Initially, the crew thought the massive white object was an emerging submarine that was getting too close to their boat. After further examining it, they found that it was a massive organic creature rather than a man-made steel structure. Standing at the ship's side, the fisherman was enthralled with the enormous stature and pale appearance of this extraterrestrial being. The creatures glided softly and effortlessly across the ocean's surface, disappearing into the dark, cold depths, leaving the onlookers spellbound. This extraordinary event, which left the fishermen in a state of shock and wonder, left a lasting impression on them of the mysterious Ningen. After the first sighting report, several fishing boats in the southern Pacific Ocean, off the coast of the Arctic, began to share their experiences of seeing these incredible massive animals. Numerous credible sources continually provided an impressive picture. The enormous creature stood out for having a pale, incredibly large body with two large eyes over a large slit-like mouth. Moreover, it possessed appendages that resembled limbs, albeit primitive ones, that is, human arms and legs. Archaeologists have continued to investigate the potential historical basis for the Exodus story. Although definitive proof remains elusive, the search for evidence continues to yield valuable insights into the ancient cultures and histories of the Middle East. Scientists reveal they found evidence of pottery and prehistoric human activity at a possible Noah's Ark location. While it's not exactly proof, researchers have managed to confirm the presence of ancient human activity and pottery at a distant spot in eastern Turkey that some have speculated may be Noah's Ark landing site. While further analysis is needed, the project at the Durapiner Formation, a distinctive boat-shaped geological formation that has attracted attention since its discovery in 1959, has uncovered new findings that may point to the earliest known instances of the clay firing method used to create pottery. Researchers from Agri Ibrahim Seykan University, Istanbul Technical University, and Andrew University, a private Seventh-day Adventist university in Michigan, announced the findings of their most recent investigations conducted at the formation. At a conference held in October at Istanbul Technical University, when the crew visited the location in December 2022, they used ground-penetrating radar and discovered underground layers and intriguing angular structures, which are features that are not typically associated with natural geological formations. Professor Farouk Kaki, revealed the results and stated the preliminary analysis of more than 24 rock and soil samples may indicate signs of human activity at the location around 5,000 years ago. The ancient items, according to Kaki, demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of the process of creating clay. He stated in his presentation that they saw that these ceramic pieces weren't produced entirely of clay when they looked at their structural makeup. They were polygenic, meaning they were made up of rocks from many origins, sand, silt, and small and large fine clay grains, as well as grains that were nearly the size of gravel. This demonstrates how old the artifacts are. This indicates a long history of work at this location. They were created by locally burning clay. Although the team has mainly focused on conducting an initial archaeological surface survey by walking around the site in search of pottery and collecting soil and rock samples, more work is anticipated in the form of geophysical surveys, core drilling, and possibly even limited form of excavations. The dimensions of the ark described in the book of Genesis, which are 300 cubits by 50 cubits by 30 cubits, or 164 yards by 27 yards by 16 yards, or 150 meters by 25 meters by 15 meters. They are cited by proponents of the ark theory in addition to the formation's boat shape. These animals were estimated to be between 20 and 90 feet long, which is not much smaller than the enormous size of a blue whale. Estimates of their exact proportions varied widely. More study and inquiry into these inexplicable occurrences resulted from the witnesses' amazement and wonder about the presence of these mysterious beings. As reports of sightings grew, doubts regarding the veracity of the Ningen creature began to surface, sparking speculation that it might be a fake. Digitally edited photos quickly became popular on the internet, overtaking discussion boards and chat rooms. Some individuals firmly believed that the Ningen were a weird physical creature that glided silently across the icy waters of the Arctic, despite the fact that many others thought the Ningen were totally imagined. Even in the face of general skepticism, these devout believers continued to think that the Ningen was a real creature slogging through the icy depths, rather than a myth. The strange object known as the Ningen has been the subject of much speculation since it was initially discovered more than 30 years ago. Some have even suggested that it could be a case of misidentification involving a recognized species. Some scientists speculate that the occurrences people have observed may be related to the presence of a large, as yet undiscovered, albino ray or skate subspecies that lives in the very cold waters. This organism's purported albino trait could be advantageous for evolution because it allows it to blend in with the icy Arctic environment. On the other hand, detractors argue that anybody claiming to have sighted the Ningen could be mistaking it for a recognized whale species, including bowhead whales or belugas. However, as with other examples involving mysterious species, it is still challenging to obtain confirmation of the Ningen's existence. Its actuality will be proved by either locating a physical specimen that unequivocally attests to its existence or by conducting exhaustive scientific analyses that consistently yield no proof of its existence. The striking thing about the sightings at Ningen is how consistent the witness accounts are throughout the range of testimonials. Supporters of the phenomenon claim that the fact that multiple people from diverse backgrounds and places have reported seeing a creature that resembles the Ningen lends credibility to the phenomenon. The witnesses attest to the creature's enormous size, ethereal appearance, and apparently conscious movements as it makes its way through the icy depths of its aquatic domain. A wide range of theories from plausible to fanciful have been proposed to explain the origins and nature of the Ningen. Some speculate that the monster may be a recently discovered species that has adapted to thrive in the severe Antarctic climate, while others believe it to be a genetically altered or mutated organism that originated from covert scientific research conducted in the region. Even if there is controversy and debate regarding the Ningan's existence, its story endures as proof of humanity's enduring interest in the natural world's secrets. Antarctic expeditions continue to search for proof of this weird animal because they want to know if the tales that have captured the imaginations of so many people are true. In the absence of definitive proof, the mystery surrounding the Ningen and its possible existence in the uncharted regions of the Antarctic Ocean must remain a source of reflection for both believers and skeptics. The myth surrounding the monster endures as a reminder of the countless wonders and mysteries that lie beneath the hostile and remote corners of our planet. Regardless of whether it is a real living organism, a cultural artifact, or something altogether more bizarre. The notion of secret operations in Antarctica conjures images of covert military bases, hidden research facilities, and even ideas involving advanced contact or ancient civilizations. One plausible scenario for secret operations in Antarctica involves military or intelligence activities conducted under the guise of scientific research. Military reconnaissance, surveillance, and testing of advanced technologies could potentially be conducted in Antarctica's remote regions, taking advantage of its isolated and sparsely populated environment. Strategic interests in Antarctica are underscored by its geopolitical significance and proximity to key global transit routes. The continent's potential for natural resources, including minerals and freshwater reserves locked in ice, adds further incentive for nations to explore and potentially exploit its resources under the guise of scientific exploration. Theories surrounding Antarctica often speculate about hidden bases operated by governments or clandestine organizations. These theories suggest that Antarctica may harbor ancient artifacts, advanced technologies, or evidence of advanced visitation that are kept hidden from public knowledge. One popular theory posits that Antarctica may be a gateway to underground or underwater structures linked to ancient civilizations or advanced technology, who adamantly maintain that the found artifact is Noah's Ark in source. There is a popular assumption among religious people right now that the spot we are talking about is where Noah's Ark is ultimately resting. On the other hand, fascinating arguments have been put out by scientists that seriously refute the idea that this is the real Ark. It's crucial to remember, though, that scientists do not completely reject some aspects of the narrative. Among the least visited regions of the planet, mountains have drawn the attention of a wide range of individuals. While some are drawn to the mysteries that sit atop these majestic natural structures, others are eager to conquer them. Fascinating. Recent finds by underwater archaeologists clearly suggest that many cities were submerged. Remains of ancient civilizations that date back to Noah's time have been discovered in one specific site, which is off the coast of Turkey. The fact that there are numerous stories from diverse civilizations mentioning a large-scale deluge, some even having written records describing the event, makes this even more fascinating. Notably, some scientists do not deny that such an event occurred, but they suggest that the extent of it might have been overstated. For example, historical evidence points to a spike in water levels in the region about 7,000 years ago, which suggests that the so-called Great Flood may have resulted from the flooding of the Black Sea. Given the recent discovery of multiple ancient underwater cities, it is imperative that scientists recognize the existence of a cataclysmic event that caused the submersion of cities. The precise scale of this event is still up for discussion among specialists. Both scholars and the general public are still enthralled with the Durupiner site. Though the evidence is still unclear, the site remains a focal point for conversations regarding the relationship between science, history, and faith, regardless of whether the Durupiner formation is the actual remnants of Noah's Ark. it underscores the persistent human enchantment with age-old riddles and the pursuit of comprehending our historical background. Ability to capture and share their experiences with a global audience, leading to a significant gathering of compelling evidence related to the existence of these mysterious celestial occurrences. This surge in technological capabilities has allowed individuals to create a vast repository of information that supports the presence of these mysterious celestial events, expanding our understanding of such phenomena on a global scale. Delving into the realm of jellyfish-shaped UFOs provides a captivating opportunity to explore the strange facets of the universe, which continuously challenge our understanding of the cosmic phenomena and beckon us to expand our horizons beyond the familiar. Although occurrences of these spectral apparitions are infrequent and shrouded in mystery, their profound effect on individuals who chance upon them is unmistakable, igniting a sense of marvel, inquisitiveness, and reverence towards the expanse and just prior, at approximately 7 in the evening, an unusual event unfolded at the St. Gertrude Church in Madeira. A peculiar entity was observed traversing the skies at an elevation ranging between 15,000 to 20,000 feet. Within moments, the mysterious object abruptly ascended vertically, vanishing into the heavens as though it had been swiftly pulled by an imperceptible force. Subsequently, it reappeared at a significantly greater altitude before disappearing once more shortly thereafter. The perplexing nature of the sighting left witnesses intrigued and bewildered, pondering the mysterious occurrence that transpired that evening. This occurrence, witnessed by onlookers, raised questions and sparked curiosity about the unexplained phenomena that occasionally captivate our attention. 6 nights later, at approximately 7 in the evening, another similar incident occurred. In Milford, Ohio, where an object closely resembling the previous sighting was observed during a searchlight test. As the beam of light traversed the sky, it illuminated a white circular object that seemed to be stationary above. Intriguingly, when the searchlight was turned off momentarily, the mysterious object vanished from sight, suggesting it was only visible under specific conditions. Subsequently, the object swiftly departed the scene, leaving observers pondering over its strange nature and abrupt disappearance. This occurrence added another perplexing layer to the series of events, deepening the mystery surrounding the unidentified flying object sightings in the area. On the eventful evening of October 23rd, an exceptionally detailed and captivating sighting unfolded once again at the St. Peter and Paul Church in Norwood. Reverend Miller found himself in the company of a diverse group of individuals. Among them, the esteemed managing editor of the Cincinnati Post, Robert Lenn, accompanied by the presence of a dedicated Post reporter, Leo Hurt, an accomplished businessman, William Winkler. The scene was imbued with a sense of curiosity and intrigue as these notable figures bore witness to an event that would etch itself into their memories. The unidentified object made its initial appearance at approximately 7 in the evening and remained consistently visible thereafter. Miller reported the sighting to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where an intelligence officer meticulously recorded all relevant details and information about the incident. The sighting of this object prompted swift action and thorough documentation by the military personnel involved. At approximately 10 in the evening, the observation of unidentified flying objects became increasingly intriguing. Onlookers were astonished as multiple triangular-shaped entities emerged from a larger disc-shaped craft. These entities seemed to depart the main object by traversing a peculiar beam before veering off its course. One observer vividly likened these peculiar objects to the pointed tip of an arrowhead. The event unfolded with an air of mystique and bewilderment, capturing the attention and curiosity of those present. During an extensive period, lasting approximately 30 minutes, they persistently circled the sky before eventually, it is assumed, rejoining the primary entity. More than 50 individuals were present during the occurrences that night. Despite the abundance of witnesses and the profoundly peculiar circumstances surrounding the incident, not everyone was easily persuaded that something out of the ordinary had occurred. The skepticism persisted even in the face of overwhelming evidence. In an article featured in the Cincinnati Post, Dr. Wells, an esteemed physics professor at the University of Cincinnati, boldly refuted the extraordinary claims by attributing the sighting to a mere optical illusion. This revelation shed a new light on the mysterious event, introducing a scientific rationale that challenged the prevailing belief in the supernatural. Leo Hurdle, a columnist for the Cincinnati Post, made astonishing assertions claiming that the seemingly small objects observed by people were simply geese. In response, Miller vehemently argued that geese seldom possess taillights. This conversation between Hurdle and Miller sparked a debate regarding the nature of these mysterious objects. Intriguingly, while a significant number of individuals present during the unfolding of the sighting remained skeptical, there were subsequent sightings that added to the mystery. Notably, on the evening following the initial event, another sighting occurred at the same spot. Among the witnesses, Ed Teep, the mayor of Norwood, provided a detailed account, emphasizing that the object in question appeared substantial and even mentioned the presence of ridges on its surface. This series of events not only raised doubts among some observers, but also sparked curiosity and speculation within the community. Teep's clear description of the object being perceived as a tangible entity with distinct features added layers of complexity to the unfolding narrative, prompting further discussion and analysis. On the evening of the November 19th in Norwood, Miller found himself once again gazing up at the vast expanse of the sky, diligently scanning with the searchlight. It was a little past 7 in the evening when his eyes locked onto the familiar, circular object hovering above. Intriguingly, after a brief period, the object abruptly vanished as though someone had flicked a switch, leaving Miller and the other witnesses bewildered. To their surprise, within a minute or so, the mysterious object reappeared, this time positioned significantly higher in the sky, defying logic. Astonishingly, it lingered in its new location for several hours, a spectacle that captivated all those present, including the notable William Winkler, solidifying the mysterious nature of the sighting. On the evening of December 20th, approximately a month later, another observation took place in Norwood. It was slightly past 8 when Miller activated the searchlight and promptly aimed it at the stationary aircraft in the sky. Initially, the object seemed quite distant, but as the night progressed, it gradually grew larger in the sky before vanishing a little past 10. This event sparked intrigue and speculation as witnesses pondered the nature of the mysterious craft and its sudden appearance. As the searchlight illuminated the surrounding area, revealing intricate details of the hovering object, onlookers couldn't help but marvel at the surreal sight unfolding before them. The sighting of the unidentified flying object left a lasting impression on those present, prompting discussions and theories about the possible origins or purposes of the mysterious aerial phenomenon. In the initial weeks of 1950, another sighting was reported in Norwood on the night of January 11th. Once again, Miller activated the searchlight at 7:30 and commenced scanning the skies. However, it took him about 15 minutes to spot the familiar object hovering above. It remained clearly visible for an additional 15 minutes before slightly dimming, though still observable. Adding to the intrigue throughout the evening, multiple observers witnessed what they described as smaller objects moving across the sky, especially as they intersected with the searchlight's beam. This series of events raised curiosity and speculation about the nature and origin of these aerial phenomena. The reports from that night triggered discussions and further investigations into the mysterious sightings that captured the attention of both local residents and experts in the field. The sequence of events on that particular evening sparked a flurry of theories and conjectures, leading to a deeper exploration of the phenomenon and its possible implications. Following a period of calm, there was a resurgence of UFO sightings after several weeks, when a new incident was documented in Norwood at approximately 8 in the evening on March 9th. The observer, Miller, quickly identified an unidentified object as he scanned the skies with a searchlight. This object remained stationary for about 45 minutes before two smaller objects emerged directly from it. As these smaller crafts detached, the main disc-shaped craft seemed to move away momentarily, but later returned to its original position, lingering in the sky until around 10 in the evening. Interestingly, none of the witnesses mentioned seeing the two smaller objects reappear, adding a mysterious element to the sighting. This event not only intrigued the witnesses, but also left them baffled by the strange, unexplained phenomenon that played out before their eyes, deepening the mystery surrounding the unidentified aerial craft encounter in Norwood. Upon the subsequent evening, Miller managed to capture sight of the unidentified object yet again, this time occurring at approximately 7 in the evening. Strangely, it maintained a stationary position, suspended in the air without any movement, for approximately 45 minutes before gradually drifting away from the illuminated area and eventually vanishing. Surprisingly, the object re-emerged after 30 minutes had elapsed, appearing in precisely the same location where it was first observed. Curiously, it stayed in that same spot until around 11 in the evening, without exhibiting any discernible changes or actions throughout this period. In the vicinity of Norwood, the latest documented observation marked the conclusion of a series of reports. The nature of the entity under scrutiny continues to baffle observers, maintaining its status as a mystery. Just prior, at approximately 7 in the evening, an unusual event unfolded at the St. Gertrude Church in Madeira. A peculiar entity was observed traversing the skies at an elevation ranging between 15,000 to 20,000 feet. Within moments, the mysterious object abruptly ascended vertically, vanishing into the heavens as though it had been swiftly pulled by an imperceptible force. Subsequently, it reappeared at a significantly greater altitude before disappearing once more shortly thereafter. The perplexing nature of the sighting left witnesses intrigued and bewildered, pondering the mysterious occurrence that transpired that evening. This occurrence, witnessed by onlookers, raised questions and sparked curiosity about the unexplained phenomena that occasionally captivate our attention. 6 nights later, at approximately 7 in the evening, another similar incident occurred. In Milford, Ohio, where an object closely resembling the previous sighting was observed during a searchlight test. As the beam of light traversed the sky, it illuminated a white circular object that seemed to be stationary above. Intriguingly, when the searchlight was turned off momentarily, the mysterious object vanished from sight, suggesting it was only visible under specific conditions. Subsequently, the object swiftly departed the scene, leaving observers pondering over its strange nature and abrupt disappearance. This occurrence added another perplexing layer to the series of events, deepening the mystery surrounding the unidentified flying object sightings in the area. On the eventful evening of October 23rd, an exceptionally detailed and captivating sighting unfolded once again at the St. Peter and Paul Church in Norwood. Reverend Miller found himself in the company of a diverse group of individuals. Among them, the esteemed managing editor of the Cincinnati Post, Robert Glenn, accompanied by the presence of a dedicated Post reporter, Leo Hurt, an accomplished businessman, William Winkler. The scene was imbued with a sense of curiosity and intrigue as these notable figures bore witness to an event that would etch itself into their memories. The unidentified object made its initial appearance at approximately 7 in the evening. and remained consistently visible thereafter. Miller reported the sighting to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, where an intelligence officer meticulously recorded all relevant details and information about the incident. The sighting of this object prompted swift action and thorough documentation by the military personnel involved. At approximately 10 in the evening, the observation of unidentified flying objects became increasingly intriguing. Onlookers were astonished as multiple triangular-shaped entities emerged from a larger disc-shaped craft. These entities seemed to depart the main object by traversing a peculiar beam before veering off its course. One observer vividly likened these peculiar objects to the pointed tip of an arrowhead. The event unfolded with an air of mystique and bewilderment, capturing the attention and curiosity of those present. During an extensive period, lasting approximately 30 minutes, they persistently circled the sky before eventually, it is assumed, rejoining the primary entity. More than 50 individuals were present during the occurrences that night. Despite the abundance of witnesses and the profoundly peculiar circumstances surrounding the incident, not everyone was easily persuaded that something out of the ordinary had occurred. The skepticism persisted even in the face of overwhelming evidence. In an article featured in the Cincinnati Post, Dr. Wells, an esteemed physics professor at the University of Cincinnati, boldly refuted the extraordinary claims by attributing the sighting to a mere optical illusion. This revelation shed a new light on the mysterious event, introducing a scientific rationale that challenged the prevailing belief in the supernatural. Leo Hurdle, a columnist for the Cincinnati Post, made astonishing assertions claiming that the seemingly small objects observed by people were simply geese. In response, Miller vehemently argued that geese seldom possess taillights. This conversation between Hurdle and Miller sparked a debate regarding the nature of these mysterious objects. Intriguingly, while a significant number of individuals present during the unfolding of the sighting remained skeptical, there were subsequent sightings that added to the mystery. Notably, on the evening following the initial event, another sighting occurred at the same spot. Among the witnesses, Ed Teep, the mayor of Norwood, provided a detailed account, emphasizing that the object in question appeared substantial and even mentioned the presence of ridges on its surface. This series of events not only raised doubts among some observers, but also sparked curiosity and speculation within the community. Teep's clear description of the object being perceived as a tangible entity with distinct features added layers of complexity to the unfolding narrative, prompting further discussion and analysis. On the evening of the November 19th in Norwood, Miller found himself once again gazing up at the vast expanse of the sky, diligently scanning with the searchlight. It was a little past 7 in the evening when his eyes locked onto the familiar, circular object hovering above. Intriguingly, after a brief period, the object abruptly vanished as though someone had flicked a switch, leaving Miller and the other witnesses bewildered. To their surprise, within a minute or so, the mysterious object reappeared, this time positioned significantly higher in the sky, defying logic. Astonishingly, it lingered in its new location for several hours, a spectacle that captivated all those present, including the notable William Winkler, solidifying the mysterious nature of the sighting. On the evening of December 20th, approximately a month later, another observation took place in Norwood. It was slightly past 8 when Miller activated the searchlight and promptly aimed it at the stationary aircraft in the sky. Initially, the object seemed quite distant, but as the night progressed, it gradually grew larger in the sky before vanishing a little past 10. This event sparked intrigue and speculation as witnesses pondered the nature of the mysterious craft and its sudden appearance. As the searchlight illuminated the surrounding area, revealing intricate details of the hovering object, onlookers couldn't help but marvel at the surreal sight unfolding before them. The sighting of the unidentified flying object left a lasting impression on those present, prompting discussions and theories about the possible origins or purposes of the mysterious aerial phenomenon. In the initial weeks of 1950, another sighting was reported in Norwood on the night of January 11th. Once again, Miller activated the searchlight at 7:30 and commenced scanning the skies. However, it took him about 15 minutes to spot the familiar object hovering above. It remained clearly visible for an additional 15 minutes before slightly dimming, though still observable. Adding to the intrigue throughout the evening, multiple observers witnessed what they described as smaller objects moving across the sky, especially as they intersected with the searchlight's beam. This series of events raised curiosity and speculation about the nature and origin of these aerial phenomena. The reports from that night triggered discussions and further investigations into the mysterious sightings that captured the attention of both local residents and experts in the field. The sequence of events on that particular evening sparked a flurry of theories and conjectures, leading to a deeper exploration of the phenomenon and its possible implications. Following a period of calm, there was a resurgence of UFO sightings after several weeks, when a new incident was documented in Norwood at approximately 8 in the evening on March 9th. The observer, Miller, quickly identified an unidentified object as he scanned the skies with a searchlight. This object remained stationary for about 45 minutes before two smaller objects emerged directly from it. As these smaller crafts detached, the main disc-shaped craft seemed to move away momentarily, but later returned to its original position, lingering in the sky until around 10 in the evening. Interestingly, none of the witnesses mentioned seeing the two smaller objects reappear, adding a mysterious element to the sighting. This event not only intrigued the witnesses, but also left them baffled by the strange, unexplained phenomenon that played out before their eyes, deepening the mystery surrounding the unidentified aerial craft encounter in Norwood. Upon the subsequent evening, Miller managed to capture sight of the unidentified object yet again, this time occurring at approximately 7 in the evening. Strangely, it maintained a stationary position, suspended in the air without any movement, for approximately 45 minutes before gradually drifting away from the illuminated area and eventually vanishing. Surprisingly, the object re-emerged after 30 minutes had elapsed, appearing in precisely the same location where it was first observed. Curiously, it stayed in that same spot until around 11 in the evening, without exhibiting any discernible changes or actions throughout this period. In the vicinity of Norwood, the latest documented observation marked the conclusion of a series of reports. The nature of the entity under scrutiny continues to baffle observers, maintaining its status as a mystery.